Play more 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, dude, that'd be really fun actually to do, lady. All right, let's get things.
Ah, shit! I forgot to bring my fucking axe. Damn it. I'm just playing Terraria right now, so.
Yeah. Well, I'm starting the stream. Whoa.
Okay.
That's that. Probably
Oh shit. Oops.
Get this over here.
There we go.
I didn't put an at everyone like an idiot. There we go. Cool.
I just got a boop boop.
A boop boop. Amazing. Oh, I muted myself. That's right. I forgot that mutes me. Okay. Cool. That's that. That's that. I think we're good there. The tweet will go out in 2 minutes. So that's good. I should stop watching this thing about Scooby-Doo.
You're watching something about Scooby-Doo?
Yeah. I was just, I don't know. Fucking, I watched Scooby-Doo a lot as a kid, and somebody else was like, I'm gonna watch all of this Scooby-Doo stuff and talk about it. I was like, okay! So I started watching it.
Very interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's not really all that good.
I think it's fine. It was fine for what it was.
Yes!
Yeah. Hey, Indigo. How's it going? Alright, let me open up a couple other things.
Yeah. There's so many amethysts around here, fuck. What?
Just amethysts, huh? Yeah. So many.
I use it to make my amethyst hook.
That makes sense. Hey, Draco. What up? Okay. Gotta open up a couple other things, and then we are good.
Where's the chat?
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Cannot join the chat.
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Boo?
I'm fine.
That's good. That's good.
It was kind of annoying on the way home from work, but yeah.
That's fair.
You know how that shit is sometimes.
Yeah. Alright. If that is everything all set, giving you the link. I have to open up this, that's right. Make sure it doesn't show things that don't need to be shown. We're good. Okay. So, hello out there. Welcome back to TableTalk, Discussion, and Discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great95.
Yes. And I'm playing Terraria right now.
That's true. There's snow? Yeah, there's snow going on. Well, not here, it's just cold. But there's
you guys don't...
Yeah.
Is there a lot of snow up? Yeah, I did hear about that. There's a fuckload of snow in the north now.
There's a
winter came.
There's a polar vortex going on or something.
Oh, another one of those.
Yeah.
I remember when that was like new.
Right.
And everybody hated it.
Right. Apparently that's going on. I didn't know about it until I was doing some dishes this morning. And was told about it, and then I was just like, huh. Okay.
Yeah.
But I did hear about like what? Texas is apparently getting snow, and that's weird.
Oh.
Apparently, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's pretty weird.
Yeah. Midwest around the Ohio River, super icy snow. Oof.
That's not good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's happening apparently. So,
Thanks, 2020.
Right. Your remnants are giving us snow?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, as is per usual, we have some comments to go over before we go through the topics today.
Yep.
So in Arizona, yeah, well, a lot of heat places are apparently getting snow, which is weird. But you know, climate change and all that.
Yeah. It's called winter, you big bastard.
That's what it is. Oh, that's true. That's also true. You're right. I don't know.
No, I'm not a climate change denier.
No, I know.
It's just a joke I've heard.
I know. Yeah, no, it's one of those things where since I'm originally from Maine, I don't give a shit about snow. Snow's fine. Like, I'm gonna spin out or I'm not going to. I don't know. But yeah. So, yeah, Indigo, I saw your comment. I wasn't really a big fan, but we'll get to it. So
have we gained our second enemy after Juice?
No. No. So first up, we've got Timothy Martin says, "Awesome video, I really enjoyed it. For the 40K highlight for your spore mine," which I'm glad people have found that and liked it.
Yeah.
So
and then that's a good format to start working at.
Yeah,
like highlights of them.
If we get anything else that's very interesting like that.
Yeah.
Had to recharge my car battery because it feels like 30 below. Oh, dude, it feels like 18 below over here. It's ridiculous. Anyway, or not 18 below. Sorry. 18 specifically. Like, it's not that bad. Like,
yeah, I'd say 18 below is like
18 below is way worse. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's real
30
bad.
below is really bad. From being up in Maine for like we had the times where the power would just go out because it was too cold. Great stuff. Yeah. Really good. Ice storms, good stuff. Anyway, hope everybody's doing okay. Basically.
Yes. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, good. Negative 30, not 30 below freezing. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So then, on Hive Fleet versus Necrons Part 1, we actually got Comrade Cosmonaut saying, "Well, damn. I didn't think I'd ever see content with Prince Boo in it again, but here you are playing D&D and tabletop games with friends. Glad I decided to check out the old channel for nostalgia purposes and found out about this."
Hey,
there you go.
You know what that means, though?
What?
That means that you didn't say subscribed.
Oh,
because had
no.
you stayed subscribed to my, my non-production, you would have seen the newest video.
How to wheelbarrow wood in for the fire after an 8-hour shift. Oof, dude. Whoa. That sucks. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, good to see you've got other people coming back to you through your video that you posted.
Yeah.
So, August 3 says, it's apparently edited. I didn't realize that this was edited. I don't know what they said differently, but we'll see. This was on last week's. I look at optimizing as you want to be very good or the excellent, or excellent at something, but it doesn't take priority or focus away from other aspects of gameplay like roleplay, exploration, and you include your own flavor or uniqueness to the build. Whereas min-max is very specific to what they want to acquire, the best result at all times from stats, abilities, items, specific boons from backgrounds and other traits, and doesn't allow for deviation or any loose alterations that could prevent you from getting those results. The other issue with min-maxing is sometimes those min-maxers perform roles that overlap other players, and they can try to take over that role and step on the toes of those other players, which can be an issue, especially for newer players who are still learning the game. Which, that's the thing. It depends on the players themselves. If the player is being an asshole like that, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. But I don't think... it's one of those things where, again, the min-maxing thing, if you're doing that, it's not inherently a problem. It's just what you do with it, right?
Yeah, it's not the tool, it's the person.
Exactly. Live in Oregon, I remember an ice storm that iced the interstate highway with 8 inches of ice. So many years ago, it was 8 inches of snowed ice over. Wow.
Jesus.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Indigo, I'm gonna have to put you on blast because I'm not a big fan of this comment. So, but we can discuss it and actually like say why.
And discourse over it.
And discourse over it.
And whatever that means.
I like the first video more. He seemed to have some good points, except point number 6. Race is not a problem in RPGs, except by the woke left that see problems they want to see and force upon others. So I agree that race isn't a problem, but again, political standing, I don't know how much that comes into it because I don't pay attention and I don't care,
Yeah.
right? It's just I agree also that there are people who just see problems that they want to see, right? Like that is a thing that we have seen, that like the orcs thing and all of that, right? Like that is a
the orcs,
problem.
the drow, and
yes, that is a problem that has happened and it's unfortunate. But anyway, this is the second part. Yes. Second video was okay until the combat wheelchair. Can't take him seriously now. Has anyone ever tried rolling a wheelchair up or down stairs, or pushing one through a natural cave system? It's not going to get very far in a real dungeon environment. What monsters aren't going to target a person that's that apparently weak? It's just my own personal opinion, but combat wheelchairs are the stupidest forced idea of woke left representation for representation's sake, yet into the RPG hobby industry. What's next? Dungeons with daycares so characters can bring their kids to work.
Okay.
So
that sounds amazing.
So okay. So let me at least do a couple of things. First, you haven't apparently read about the combat wheelchair. You haven't read it at all. It makes it so that you don't have to worry about stairs, first off, right? It automatically is a thing that has like its own weird thing that lets you go up and down that stuff.
It's like a rope ascender, but for stairs.
Exactly, right? Like, it's a thing. It has this magic thing. And yes, it's a little questionable just because, like, why can't I just fly with it if this is the thing that it does? But it's like a low enchantment kind of thing. Anyway, I don't know. It's a thing. It's there. Again, I don't see why it's a problem. It's not. It's just there, right? Like, again, it's not like it's... It is just another thing that's available. It's not forcing it. It's just there. Nobody is forcing anybody to use this, right? It is just available to those who want to use it.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. When I play a fighter, I feel like I'm forced to fight things.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
I feel like, I was going to do an illusion of choice thing, but I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. There's those things too. Anyway, it defies all kinds of plausibility. Magic defies all kinds of plausibility. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you? Do you have problems with Eberron? Like at all? Like any of that kind of stuff? Like literally everything in the world is not technically possible, right? Like there's some things, yes, that are grounded in reality, but again, it's not like it's doing anything to your game. You're not forced to use it. It's just there, and people can use it. The people who are trying to force it, that's a problem, sure.
Yes.
If they're going, hey, we need to use this, and it's like, well, I don't feel like using it. Then they go, well, no, that makes you ableist or something, right? Like somebody, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the level of insanity that we're at. Yeah, exactly. If somebody's like that, they're already unreasonable, right? Like there's nothing we can do about that. But again, it existing isn't a problem. Secondly, with the dungeons with daycares thing, that's also absolutely completely out of the realm of possibility. Just because
you think so? Because like I could totally see it.
So
like,
I could see it, right? It's a thing that is like a joke, right?
Yes. But, no. What I'm saying is I could see it happening and being a thing in seriousness.
Oh,
it's like, well, I'm playing a character who's a single mom or a single dad.
Well, that's the thing, right?
I demand that that
you leave them in an orphanage or something. I don't know. Like,
but what if I want to bring them?
Well, then that's
I can't
not
afford
practical,
an orphanage,
right?
and dungeon daycares are free.
So in that, I would go, that's not practical. Now we're having a different conversation. Like,
yeah, and like I could just see that becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh no, I know. I know. So why would someone crippled refuse divine healing curative magic to stay in a wheelchair? Dude, we talked about this. Some people don't want that kind of, like, thing. I don't know why. I can't speak for it. I'm not somebody like that. I would say also... Yeah, okay, there we go. The refusal of healing could be a matter of pride or punishment for a perceived sin. Sure, that could be a thing. Yeah. Like, I'm using this, because I fucked up back in my backstory, right? And now I'm crippled, and now I still want to retain that so that I know where I came from, and like always be reminded of what I did wrong. But I want to still be able to make an advantage or make a thing.
Flaw.
Not a flaw. No, it's make a difference. Still.
Oh yeah. I used to be an adventurer until I took an arrow in the knee, and the fucking Jarl won't pay for a fucking magic guy to heal me.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, right? Like, I don't know. It's just I don't see that there's a problem here because you can make it work. There's nothing that makes it so that you can't make it work. It's just one of those things.
Unless it's a rust monster.
Unless it's a rust monster, exactly. Don't worry, it's made out of like stone and stuff too. I don't know. I don't know. It's been a long while since I read it. I don't know.
It's kind of like that. Like there's a mod for Minecraft where you can make computers out of rocks.
Yeah, there you go. Why not?
It's great. It's really
I bang them together. I bang them together, and it's better now. It makes a computer.
Yes.
Professor X, exactly. There are some characters that can still be like that, right?
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is that, in a way, the entire campaign would have to revolve around the person in the wheelchair. No! What?
Yeah, no, not
what?
No.
What do you fucking mean? Oh, are you kidding me?
If you have the kind of person who's like, I'm the most important, if you have that kind of problem player, then it might. But, that's up to the DM to just say, no, that's not what's happening.
The point is, with the wheelchair, is to make it so that's not the case. Yeah. That's literally the point. It's to make it so that they are just as capable as anybody else. Yeah, so they can just do whatever they need to do.
If you had the opposite, where they are crippled but they can't walk, they can't do anything, now you have an escort mission.
Right, exactly. But the other thing is, some people have used this kind of like, what if somebody always has a horse? Is that a problem? If they're always riding a horse, then and they're literally a cavalier, right? They always use the horse because on horseback they're way more effective than they are on foot. Then you're now that's the same kind of issue, quote unquote, right? Like, why is your standard now lower because it's a wheelchair instead of the horse? The wheelchair can at least...
the wheelchair is so stupid it fucks up everything.
Right, exactly. That's dumb. That's fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but it is. Like, it can go into the dungeon and it can let you do all this shit. But the horse can't really do the same thing. Come on.
Unless it's like I don't know.
I
was kind of trying to play Satan type man, but I can't think of anything.
I understand. I mean, Part 7 JoJo is a great example of the disabled man in the campaign. I've not seen it, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't agree whatsoever with this. But anyway. And again, if you don't want to use it, just don't use it. It's fucking it doesn't affect you. Good.
And hell, here's the other thing you could do. If you really hate it that much, you could always have a character in the wheelchair be your villain.
Yeah.
And then
you could if you want to do that, I guess.
Yeah, right. If you hate it that much, just do that. And just swing into it, swing into the madness.
Yeah.
Or perceived madness.
Main character can't walk in a massive horse race. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, besides that, give me a second while I pull these up, because there are a couple of memes that I want to look at as well.
Yes, they were good.
There were some very good memes. Let me open these real quick.
There's a fucking miner zombie skeleton, whatever.
Okay, so first off, Pizza Funk got us
our boy.
He got us the 10 Demandments of TTRPGs.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're so good.
Yeah, no, they're really good.
Thou shalt not do accents for their characters, lest they be branded a casual.
Yes.
Thou shalt only speak in character, for out-of-character chatter is metagaming. Thou shalt not cheat at D&D. Those who do are the lowest scum and need to get their hands cut off.
Yes.
Thou shalt not play monster races in D&D, for those who do are having fun wrong.
Yes.
Thou shalt use the life path system, for it is the crowning achievement for the makers of Cyberpunk.
Oh my god.
So good. Thou shalt be driven by fear, for everything thou does is motivated by fear. Thou shalt scare their players by having them drink water that tastes like semen. Thou shalt have a room DC that determines every skill check in the room.
Yes.
If those players feel railroaded, then it's the player's fault.
Oh my god.
Thou can go to war for 600 days and only have 6 stories. They're so good.
It's way too good, man.
It's so good. And I saw there was an edition that I saw somebody put Slazer put the 11th Amendment. If thou feels they have a choice, it is but an illusion. It's very good as well. I like them all, and I'm so glad. Thank you so much.
They're all really fucking good.
Oh man, it's so good. And then we had the meme for this was because of our 40K games. And it's Tuxedo Mask talking to Sailor Moon.
Yeah!
9th edition sucks, 5th is better. But why?
Why?
They just leave. We have some guy who comes in and he just says that and he never says anything else.
Yeah, we've even while he's there, we're like, hey, what's going on? Could you tell us why?
Tell us why. And he just doesn't say
and we're not
anything.
even being at least I'm not.
No,
I think you
I want to hear why. I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's your tone problem.
It's probably my tone problem. Yeah, if that's.
But yeah, I've asked him, it's could you tell us? I'm legitimately interested to hear why. Then he doesn't say anything.
Absolutely.
Usually, when you agree with the trolls, they're like, "Oh man, sure, I'll fucking tell you what I think."
I wish he did because I want to know because I'm not gonna. I don't care otherwise.
Right? Sorry,
but
many skeletons.
Oh, okay. So that's all that for now.
Okay, sorry.
You're good. So thank you for all the comments and the memes. Very good.
Yes.
And as always, thank you to all of you for watching and all of that. And our patrons, which we will talk about in the mids point and whenever intermission point, I don't fucking know, and the end, because it's brought to us, we are brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Yes. So today, we're talking a little bit about 6th edition that doesn't exist, but some people have talked about in some videos, and I thought it was kind of interesting, and it was really spurred on by a video that I was telling Boo, that the video is very bitter, and I was like, oh, but it was talking about 6th edition and a little bit about the audience that's changed. Eberron is cool fantasy world. Oh, okay, well then okay, if you like Eberron. It's got literal prosthetics that are anyway. Yeah, so it's quite literally, it was so bitter, and it was very weird to start listening to, and I have half a mind to not watch it. We'll see if we get to it, because it is still open in a tab that I have, so we'll see, but I don't know. I don't know, it just feels so weird.
So bitter!
So bitter! So, we'll see. But we're gonna do some stuff on 6E, and we're gonna start off with a 5-minute video, very short. This is brought to us by Icarus Games, and it says the title is "The One Thing D&D 6E Needs to Do Better." So, this implies that there's something that 5E doesn't do very well that 6E could improve on, which I am like, looks at 5E. Yeah, looks at 5E. You don't say.
Yeah, right?
Okay. So, I'm interested to see what this guy has to say and see what his proposals are. Only one thing, exactly.
Yeah, just one.
Just one thing.
Strap on your tinfoil hats, because today we're diving into the realm of speculation and talking about what I think the one thing that 6th edition needs to get right is.
So, before we go any further... He's talked about tinfoil hats already, and can I just say, why is this a popular thing? Because I saw it in so many other 6E, like, videos of, like, we're gonna put on our tinfoil hat. And I'm like, tinfoil hats imply conspiracy. They don't imply speculation. Yeah, lunacy as well. They don't imply speculation. What is with the tinfoil hat being used? What is happening?
Well, you know what I think it is? Fuck you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think it's probably just that.
Yeah, you got it. I think Wizards of the Coast will do a 5.5 50th anniversary edition before a 6th edition. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I don't see 6th edition coming anytime soon. I really don't. So I'm interested to see again what these people are talking about with it, because it's like, why do you see this coming so soon? I mean, this was let's see, this was posted December 17th, 2020. So, and I guess it's mostly because 5th edition has had a long line for now. So I don't know. They implied the idea of mind reading and mind control, so I don't know why it's popular. That still doesn't make any sense. Okay.
What does?
The tinfoil hats.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, I guess, but that doesn't mean psychically.
But it's only if he's talking about psychic stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we're talking about divination, that's different, right? Because reading a mind,
I would like to see psionics and psychic shit be done in a balanced way.
Yeah, that is true. I would like to see them come back.
Because I like psychic characters.
Yeah, they just brought them into well, they technically did bring them in with Tasha's.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah,
Is it actually balanced though?
I think so. I think it's okay.
Oh.
I don't remember. It's been a while since we've looked at Tasha's. Right?
Yeah.
And I still don't own it, so I don't know. Because I don't care.
Me neither.
But they were doing it more for Pathfinder, if I remember right. I don't know. I can get behind a tinfoil hat magic item. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. It's like
it protects you from mind flayers.
Well, yeah, and
only mind flayers.
Oh, I was gonna say from like charm spells and stuff. It just makes you look kind of weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, the idea is the tinfoil shields you like lead to X-ray, but again, you're right. It should mean nothing to speculation. Yeah. Okay. I'm not crazy. Sometimes.
Greetings gamers, I'm Anto, and my buddy Claire from No Fun Allowed asked me what I want to see the most from 6th edition.
Anto, what do you want to see most from 6th edition?
Oh, so that's what we're talking about.
Okay. Thank you for the context.
Yeah, right. Like, and that reminds me of Kung Pao, where it's like he warned us of the significance. It will be significant, and I'm like, fucking, that was a joke.
That's true. Oh man, you're right. That's great.
Today. The one thing I want to see the most from 6th edition, the one thing that I think 6th edition needs to get right, is it needs to cater significantly more to new Dungeon Masters. Now, I know that 5th edition has the most new players of any edition. And
wait. Okay, first off,
I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's speculate then on his speculation. What does he mean by that?
Yeah, and also, like, is 5e hard to run for new shit?
No.
It's easy. That's kind of the point.
Yeah,
you know what they need to do with 5th edition, 6th edition? They need to like get rid of all this unneeded complexity, man. There's just too many like ancillary rules that I don't want anything to do with.
Like, yeah, 5th ed isn't particularly hard to run. It's really not. It's the most plug and play kind of TTRPG. It is easy street.
That's why it's so ubiquitous.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it rose in popularity. The last thing 5e needs is to be more streamlined. I agree. I think it needs more complexity. The optional complexity. You know? Like I don't so
yeah, no, this is very questioned.
So very confused as to what he's okay, here we go.
Has the most new of any edition, and in a lot of ways it's the easiest edition to get into as a player, but I would strongly argue that 5th edition falls short in a lot of ways when it comes to onboarding new Dungeon Masters. Now, I suspect that when 5th edition was released, Wizards of the Coast thought the majority of Dungeon Masters were going to be veterans who learned the new edition and then taught their groups, and that new Dungeon Masters would evolve from those experienced players. I don't think they ever anticipated the massive success and growth of the game, or expected so many brand new people to find their way into the hobby, which sort of explains their hands-off approach to advice for running the game in the core 3 books. But something I've noticed as more and more products have been released is that the default in 5th edition seems to be kind of a DM fiat. In most situations, the rules present, they just say, well, you're the DM, you decide, you figure it out. Now, this is great for more experience.
That's always how it's been.
Yeah, wait. So, okay. So first off, right, we're going from they expected that veteran players would teach new players the rules. And I'm over here going, no.
Yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure they expected
a veteran DM to teach people how to play a tabletop RPG.
No, absolutely not. But what I'm saying is, I think they expected that people would read the book.
Well, I mean, that's a lot to ask.
I know, but I think so. He wants more structured DM tools in the game. Okay, if that's what he wants, then I also I agree. I agree. I think that there should be more things there for DMs to use, but he's also saying that it wasn't intended for people to pick up and like who are brand new and like use it and learn it, which I go and I look at the system and I go, no, anyone can pick this up and learn it easily. Like, it is so intended to, like, because it is so streamlined, it is intended for anyone to learn it.
They want to sell a lot of books.
Yeah, that's the whole point. They wanted to sell it to the more...
The masses.
Yeah, more of the
masses.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically everybody who was already playing it.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, I hard disagree that this has not been for new people, because again, it's so simple. It's so simple. It's
sometimes frustratingly simple.
Yeah, exactly. But like anybody can pick it up. I don't get this.
Experienced DMs. It makes it really difficult for brand new Dungeon Masters, especially those who weren't players beforehand, to know where they stand. Now, a great example of this is wealth. The 5th edition DMG gives no indication on how much gold your players should be earning per encounter. Instead, it tells you to make it up or roll on the treasure hoard tables, which can vary really quite wildly in the rewards that they give you.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. No, that I agree with. That I agree with because they're God, the economy in D&D has always been fucking weird. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it always has.
It's
mostly because, basically for the exact reason he mentioned, is that basically you're never really told, like, what is a rich person, you know?
Well,
what does a rich person make?
Right, like, I remember, so in 3.5, there was some stuff in tables of, like, hey...
but here's the thing, we're not talking about 3.5, we're talking about 5th.
No, I know. What I'm saying is, though, before... There was.
Oh, yes.
There was something
in 5th,
there.
There's not.
In 5th, there isn't really, right?
Yeah.
In 5th, you just, and he is right. It is more like, hey, figure it out. Hey, Mug, how's it going? But it's like, it's just like, you know,
just good luck.
Yeah, it's more just like, hey, man, this is worth like this bracket. You know, like for magic items and stuff, these are worth this much in this bracket. Hey, let's go buy this. And I'm like, okay. And then it's like, hey, the other thing is for gold and stuff, with the economy being so weird, it is so hard for you to go, this is the appropriate amount of gold that they should have at this point. I will agree, because it's just like, I don't know how many I don't know how many magic items is too much, or
same,
like all that kind of stuff.
And it's hard to know, like when you guys got Baphomet's shit and you came into a fuckload of money, and I'm like, oh shit,
right.
how do I deal with this now?
Right, exactly. And
it was pretty easy to deal with.
Right.
But
still. it's again, it's like anybody can make it like work, I think. It's just one of those things of now they have all of these things maybe, or maybe they don't have all these things, and then you balance their encounters accordingly. Or you balance the social situations accordingly, or you make it so that they can't use some items for some reasons, it depends, right? Like, you can make it work again, but it is something that is harder to do for newer people that aren't as experienced. So that, you know what? I agree.
Yeah.
The weird don't assume you'll get certain magic items has demolished the economy. What do you mean?
Well, it depends on whether or not they're going to sell it or not.
Right. Yeah. What do you mean?
Or if it's a random magic item, then it could very easily just be something meaningless. Like if it's on a random table and you don't happen to have someone who wants to do anything with it, or you might have an artificer who's like, "Oh, we don't need this. I'm just going to fucking break it down and make something better."
Right. Okay.
I'll have that.
5e is designed around the OSR ethos of rulings, not rules, but really doesn't do a good job giving the key tools to make good rulings. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it goes that far. I think there's still enough there for you to make a good ruling, because, like, again, it's so simple to just say, I guess more important stuff, like the economy kind of stuff, then yeah, I would say that there's not a good base set there, but even then there's the tables of, like, for tavern food, like, qualities of life.
That's true.
That is a thing that is there, so I think there's something you can get a kind of an idea, but it's, again, there's a lot of other things that are in there that I'm just like crafting, right? There's no crafting shit,
none,
like, at all. I don't know why. That I feel I know we always go back to it, but crafting is like something.
But crafting is a big thing. That is worth going back to.
Oh, absolutely. It's something that a lot of people want to do because they want to make their own items. I think. I don't know. I would imagine people want to create their own stuff.
Hello, Warhammer 40K miniatures.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I know it's not exactly crafting in the D&D sense, but you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. My DM believes a hat of disguise is worth over 5K. Whoa! That's too much.
Is that going off of, like, the third edition stuff? Because in third edition, it might actually be.
I don't think it was that much in third. I don't remember.
I just know magic items were real fucking
if that's the case, then you guys have, like, you probably are getting a lot of money in your campaign.
Oh, here's hoping.
I would imagine. So they don't give value to any of your treasures. That's true. What I mean is that since magic items aren't assumed, players rarely have much of value to spend their money on, for sure.
Oh,
gotcha. Okay.
I see. Yeah, yes. No, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, there's not much point to money unless you have those kinds of things. Yeah, this is my biggest issue in 5e. No crafting and magic items don't have clear values. Reason why I prefer Pathfinder, since all items in crafting has a clear price to it. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Yes.
The broad ranges for magic item costs and crafting rules, it just means that it's hard to, like, know how much gold is too much or too little to have for your party. Yes, absolutely. They have an artificer class with no crafting system. If you want crafting in 5e, you have to go third party. That is true.
Oh my god, what?
With 5e?
Is that true?
Yeah, with 5e, yeah.
Oh my god.
Artificers when we were playing 5e that one time, right? When you were the artificer, we were using the playtest material for artificer.
Oh no, but what I'm saying is I thought because I know that sorry. Still playing.
Yeah.
Because I thought that they had what am I trying to say here? They made an official artificer for 5e.
Yep.
Didn't they?
Yep.
Does that not have any crafting?
No, it is infusing items.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
that's not an artificer then.
No, it's well. So the only crafting, quote unquote, is if you take an infusion, quote unquote, or whatever it is that they get. They can make a homunculus, or if you are a specific archetype, you can make the
cannon thing.
Yeah, that or the
arcane cannon.
Yes, the arcane cannon or whatever it is. And then there's the the Battle Hound or Iron Defender in a different archetype. But there's like, no
super,
pure
like
crafting.
Sherlock with robot dog detective sidekick thing.
Yes.
But there's no AKA better ranger.
Right. Everything's a better ranger. Yes. But for magic items that they can make, they take a regular item and they infuse it with magic, and then it becomes that magic item. You can only pick from a certain list, though.
That's such bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, it sucks. Oh, artificers are not the same anymore. It sucks so much.
Remember how you made an artificer? Maybe I should change the rule so you can't make shit.
Yeah, that's probably good, even though I've already started making shit.
Well, you're just going to instantly forget how to do it.
Okay,
sorry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense to me.
I know, right?
I'm the DM.
Yeah. Nope, I wish all my 5e DMs want a low magic and money game in a game that already is low magic. Oh, well. I mean, it depends, right? If those magic items are the most powerful things and they're only like a hat of disguise, then I can understand, right? It all depends on the context.
Yeah.
Yeah, artificers literally only get one ability that relates to magic item creations. Yes. Mage Hand
so
Press.
Sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I want to fucking be my party's dealer.
Well, this is the thing.
Yo,
like,
you need a fucking bag of holding? I got you in like a week,
yeah.
But I got you.
That's why when I do 5e stuff, I want to make it so people can craft. So I'll use 3.5 shit.
Yeah, and that's why in 5e I always am like, hey, permanency is a spell.
Sure, yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Because permanency makes so much sense.
Oh, yeah,
It should not be removed.
Yeah. Mage Hand Press has a class called the Craftsman. It's a pure crafting class. That sounds awesome. Okay.
Ooh.
I'll look into that. It's half artificers, right, and it's half the price of crafting. Okay.
Okay, well.
Wait, there's no crafting though.
Yeah, wait, what? Huh?
I thought in Xander's they made some crafting. Xanathar's, you mean?
Xander.
Xander's
Guide to Everything.
So Xanathar's has specific things with skills of like how to make different checks and what skills can be used with different tools. There's a couple things for crafting, kind of, but not really that much. I think it's been a hot minute, and I could go and pull the book down, but at the moment, but that depends on the non-rules for crafting. Okay, yeah, exactly. So if it's half the price of crafting, but there's no rules for crafting, how are we gonna do this?
So if it's half the price, if it's half of nothing, then you gotta pay me.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, to be fair, you are offering a service, so you would.
They also have their own artificer and gunslinger classes with crafting rules. Okay, cool. And that's at level 10 for uncommon or less items. That's true.
Oh my god. Level 10 for uncommon?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Use the only Mage Hand Press classes in your next 5e game. It will be very different. They have some cool stuff. Alright, yeah, fair enough. So yeah. Next point, maybe.
On the one hand, having G say, give however much gold you want, you're free to choose, is great for experienced DMs. And to be honest, 5th edition doesn't really give you that many ways to spend gold anyway. But again, for a brand new DM, it can be really frustrating. In fact, when I started learning 5th edition, I spent a long time flipping back and forth looking for that wealth table because I assumed I must have missed it. Now, let's stay on the topic of the DMG for a minute here because I want to tell you about one of the best...
Actually, before he goes on too much further, I do know there is the magic item table. That is a table that has, like, these are the tiers of magic items, right? Like, and they have a bracketed, like, this is worth up to 500 gold, right? Like that, but it's 1 to 500, and you're like, oh,
yeah, right. And I'm like, okay, and then I guess they're gonna sell you this bag of holding for 1 gold.
Well, it's obviously it's not gonna be like that, but it's also just like.
But it's still not giving you any information. It's just giving you a ballpark.
Well, it's giving you information. It's not giving you a lot of information, but it is something at least. So it is there.
But it's not enough. I need more.
Right. If they had stronghold rules in 5e, that would be another way to help players spend money. Agreed. Yes. Followers and strongholds from Matthew Colville. and his company, they made a 5e supplement that has that. Check that out. It's really cool.
Nice.
It also introduces back in the gem dragons.
Ooh, neat.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Those are in like 2nd edition?
They were in 3rd.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
they were in 3rd. They were in Monster Manual 3, I want to say.
No wonder.
Yeah, the Amethyst.
You always get like 1 and maybe 2. I'm like the only one I know who's like, oh man, I got like all of them.
Yeah. No, it's the Amethyst, the Jade, the Crystal, all of those dragons. Very cool. There's a bracket that says how many magic items the party/characters should have of each rarity and level. Oh, is there? Okay.
Oh.
So if that's there, then that's a little helpful. But I have no idea how much these things they actually cost. So
yeah.
Gem dragons are boss. Yes. I've never used them, and I've never like been in a game with them, but they are fucking rad, and I will use them in the future.
The dragons that I prefer to use are less gem dragons and more like dragons shaped by their environment.
Oh, sure.
Like there's a I forget where it was, but there's a desert dragon who is it's wingless.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And what it does is instead of wings, it has like these spines that are like movable.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the same spot as wings. And what it does is if it ever kills anyone, it takes their shit and like their gold coins and shit, and we'll lay it on the sand, and then it will dig around underneath the sand so that stuff is on the top, and it extends its spines up through the sand to look like a giant rib cage.
Oh, so it's a trap for things to come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's either it'll trap animals looking for like like scraps of whatever the beast was, or if it's adventurers, they'll come looking for that shiny shines.
Yeah. Oh, the table is really low for magic items in the party. That sucks.
Oh.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Items are such a struggle to price as a DM. I learned more on the party finding treasure in 5e. Wait, what? Well, items are, yes, but I learned more on the party finding treasure in 5e. More on the... Oh, Sorry. You lean more on the party finding treasure in 5e. Yes. It's easier to make it so they find items than it is for you to sell them items.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But then the problem is when they come around finding... Because they're not always going to find... items. They will eventually find gold
money,
coins, and then you're still back where you started.
Right, yeah. What do I spend this on? Am I going to... Like, that's why
how much do I give them?
Right, yeah. And that's why I like to have more things that give more things. Like, for tavern stays or whatever, whatever housing kind of establishment you want to go to, if it's a very high quality place, it'll actually give you a boost. Like, a temporary boost, but a boost nonetheless if you keep consistently staying at those kinds of places, because you're treating yourself in such a way that's very good. It's kind of just like a buff that you can just have.
A small buff.
But it encourages people to spend more, right?
Not to mention you can do that with food as well. Good food.
Yes, absolutely. But that's the thing. You do that, and then, like, with poorer quality or, like, really shit quality stuff, that will actually, if you keep eating that kind of stuff or using the really poor quality stuff, then you can start to have a debuff, because if it's so consistent, then it's like, well, you can't just like lay out on the street. You can't just live
on Taco Bell, my man.
Right. You can't survive on just bread alone. I'm sorry, sir. But like, it's literally, if you're lying in the alley, and like every night, there should be some kind of consequence, I feel.
Yeah. The consequence is you meet the Skaven.
Well, yeah, there's also that, obviously.
And then they name you the new Rat King.
That is true. No, they don't. They kill you because you're not a rat.
Well, they might think it's like, hey.
And even if you're a rat, they kill you.
Rat Thing is trying to become Skaven thing.
No.
No.
They take you as a slave. They use you for labor. And then for their warp experiments.
Yeah.
Anyway.
examples of a really well done DMG in my opinion, and that's the 4th edition one. 4E gets a lot of flack, and most of it I actually don't think it deserves. And I actually plan on making a whole video dedicated to what I love about 4th edition and how you can use it to improve your 5e game in the future. But the opening 30 pages or so of this book blow the 5th edition DMG out of the water when it comes to onboarding new DMs. The 5th edition DMG spends a total of 3 pages devoted to being a Dungeon Master in the broader sense. Now, I'm not talking about how to build worlds or run the game mechanically here, I'm talking more about what your role is as the Dungeon Master. All of that's covered in only 3 pages, and almost half of that is dedicated to a summary of the upcoming section. But the 4th edition Dungeon Master's Guide, by contrast, spends the first 30 pages of the book talking about what it means to be a Dungeon Master, how you are going to assume that role, and it covers fundamental parts of the role such as how to focus your prep time, how to handle pacing and narration, and how to deal with different problems that are going to come up in your sessions. In fact, one of my favourite parts of the 4th edition DMG is how it breaks down different player types and then gives you information on how to engage them and what problems you're likely to come up with
need to reread
against
that then.
different player types.
Yeah, no, that sounds very good. I actually I would like to read that as well now. That sounds interesting. Let's go! Exactly. 4E DMGs are boss, especially DMG 2. I think it was written by Robin Laws. I don't know who that is, but cool. I absolutely agree with this. They are great. That's true. Hey, Kill Chrono, what up?
Hello. You died a lot.
You That's right. I don't know if
he's the one who killed you, not me.
Yeah, it's true. You know how
4E... I hate Joe Horma, go ahead.
You know, 4E gets a lot of mentions on this show. That is true.
It does.
We have yet to actually cover it, like, fully, but we will at some point. I promise.
What I need to do is, before we actually cover it, I need to actually read the books again.
Yeah.
That way I can be our source.
Yes. 4E damage was... DMG was great. Pathfinder DMG does a good job, too. Yes, Pathfinder 1 is pretty good at it, too. I'm very much of the opinion that 4E came out way too soon. It'd do a lot better in this... VTT-focused environment. I don't know what VTT means.
Very troubling times?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I have no idea.
I don't know. 4E embraced a money gold economy. Okay. I haven't watched the latest 40K video. I hope I live. No spoilers. Okay, yeah.
Nope.
You should, you should,
yeah, no, I'll spoil it. Sorry.
No.
Trust me, you'll know why as soon as you see yourself pop up.
Virtual tabletop. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Virtual tabletop. Gotcha. Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, the way the Finn DMG is written, it very much comes across like the designers are speaking to experienced Dungeon Masters, and there's a sprinkling of smaller paragraphs.
No, wait, Mog, he said, no, that was Mog who was saying that, and don't worry, Mog, that's not a spoil, don't worry, you're good. You're good. No.
I thought it was Kill Chrono.
Yeah, no, Kill Chrono is that.
Because I'm not looking at the chat.
No, yeah.
I have the watch together open.
Yeah, I got you. 4E was supposed to have official virtual tabletop. Oh, it was. Oh, interesting. Didn't know that.
Smaller paragraphs for brand new DMs to use to figure out what their place in the world is. But the 4th edition DMG spends pages and pages breaking down all of those things that a new DM needs to know that aren't just the mechanics of the game. This problem for me was really highlighted in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. We were promised group patron rules, but what we actually got was just pointed to a list on how to run a business in
Oh my god.
DMG. In that situation...
Wait, we were? I don't remember this.
Yeah, I don't remember. What?
To be fair,
we are.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Tim Hanks.
Fucking.
What?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Was that true?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Now, if it is, I dislike that book even more now.
Careful if you look up why that didn't happen. Why the business thing didn't happen? Oh no, the tabletop, the virtual tabletop, 4E virtual tabletop thing. Okay, interesting. When 4E was being designed, Wizards of the Coast was planning on releasing it with a VTT program, but their software development people didn't know how to program. Lots of people compare Pathfinder 2E to 4E, and it's got a sizable following. Haven't played 4E myself, but from my little knowledge, I can see the comparisons. I didn't know that that either now the 4E design makes more sense, but I guess there was some drama around it as it got canceled. Okay. As a 4E fan, I feel Pathfinder 2E to be weak sauce. What? Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually what impressed me about Pathfinder 2E. I've played a session of 4E before running Pathfinder 2, and I definitely see the comparisons. Fair enough. It's not a pretty story. Okay. I see elements of 4E in Pathfinder 2E, but I see 5E in it as well. I mean, Pathfinder 2E is just a combination of a bunch of different things. So,
yeah,
like, it's got a bunch of different influences behind it because it's had time to get those influences, right? Anyway.
An experienced to be able to kind of extrapolate from the examples of group patrons in the book and put something together. But a brand new DM is going to be lost, forced to either homebrew a system without years of experience, use the really lackluster official rules, or just ignore that element of gameplay completely. D&D is growing massively popular, and more brand new people are getting into the game. And while 5th edition makes it really easy for a player who wants to run a player character to get into the game, there is a big gap for those brand new dungeon masters that isn't being filled. And I think if 6th edition wants to have the best chance of growing in the same way that 5th edition has, Wizards really need to put something in place for those brand new DMs. Sure, there are plenty of resources out there like this channel that are dedicated to helping new dungeon masters, but it shouldn't be assumed that your customers have to go somewhere else to figure out how to play your game.
Yeah,
this video is part of a
fair.
series of questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. So now that I've heard him, like, I've actually like listened to what he's had to say, I agree then that 6, whenever 6 comes out, or whatever they do with 5.5 or whatever they do in the future, they really should make it so that there's a lot more tools for the dungeon masters, because again, like, we go back to other editions just to pull other parts,
other rules.
Yeah, because there's nothing there. So ultimately, yeah, he's right. I feel that there's it needs that shit. And the whole sentiment of you shouldn't have to look at something else in order to learn how to play the game, that's fair. I agree. You shouldn't have to, but it is helpful that these things are there.
Is good, but you should not have to.
Absolutely, yes.
If you buy how much are they now? Like $30-$40 these books?
Oh yeah.
If you buy that, everything that you need should be in that.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. And to be fair, yes, everything is in there that you need. But there are questions when you start like actually thinking about that you don't have answers to in there, right? The problem with 4E is I feel Wizards of the Coast wasn't honest about the edition before the game's release, plus the jarring and different presentation of the game's abilities, so a lot of people didn't even try it. Right, yeah. 4E marketed 4E as you can finally make a character you always wanted, and that was nowhere near the case. If they marketed
because
like
it was
that,
essentially what they did was you came from 3rd edition where everything essentially it was like that time when WoW was way out of control with the numbers, because you had players who were at max level. They had like 300,000 HP, and it didn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there was a number crunch in 5.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And so, yeah, they made the problem that everybody has with it, even though, it's not the problem that everybody has, but a thing that happens in 4th edition is your characters are superheroes every time.
Right.
Just because of how much HP they have, how many things they can do. Everybody technically has spells. Everybody has all this shit. And so you're a lot more superhero-y than 5th or 3rd or 1st or 2nd. Obviously,
I would have to look at it like in depth just to see about that, because again, that's the claim, right? And I don't know.
No, it's true. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, I know.
Is that a burger? Oh my god, it's a burger! I need it. A fucking flesh-eating worm dropped it. I need it.
Nice. One of the things that annoys me is 5E has a lot of potential to be super modular. It's like a customizable OS like Linux or Android, but no one utilizes that to create unique rule sets. I would say all of the third-party stuff is out there because of that. So I wouldn't agree that it's not like that. I would say that yes, for official stuff, yeah, absolutely. there's a lot of stuff there that they just don't take advantage of. But for the unofficial stuff, I think that's really where your main content seems to be. A lot of the time. There was no way to make most of the characters I have, and it wasn't till the PHP 3 I made a character I liked. It fixed my paladin.
Damn.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Paladin 4E felt badass. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think this is the end.
It's myself and other YouTubers are asking
that was
each
so
other.
quick.
I have a question for my buddy Nick Pearson. Nick.
Okay, yeah. So,
well,
yeah.
You're not going to really awkwardly frame it and ask it? I want to...
No, he is asking a question for somebody else to answer. And
Oh, no, but, like, where's the awkward framing and from before where the guy asked like, just completely out of nowhere.
Right. So that's a 5-minute video.
Yes,
it
that
took
was very
us,
quick.
What? Like 30 minutes to do?
No.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of third-party stuff that does that. I think Wizards of the Coast is scared of scaring away people who like how simple and streamlined the base game is. Oh, probably. Magic items in 4E were weirdly underpowered and overpowered at the same time. There's a lot of cool items, though. Okay. So yeah, for this, I agree with what he's saying. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good video. I liked it. But since that was so short, let's just move straight on to the next one. So, this next one comes from Dungeon Class.
Oh.
They are a channel that I have kind of looked at a couple of times. Been trying to figure out when to like cover it on the show because they're a lot more, as is from the title, more like a class in the sense of just telling you how things work.
Good day,
in
class.
in D&D. And so it's really more just informative in the sense of they just tell you like the ruling and stuff, and like that's it. And so there wasn't really any point to really cover them because they weren't wrong.
Yeah,
or they didn't really
just telling you the rules.
Yeah, they weren't really giving you an opinion or anything. It was just there, right?
Yeah.
But this is this is definitely an opinion piece. Because it says 6th edition D&D is already here.
Yes.
So yes, brought to us by Dungeon Class. They seem neat. Kind of like how it's played channel. Yeah, I think so. I think kind of like that, yeah. But it's just these two guys who just talk, and yeah, it's pretty neat. So, here we go. It's 8 minutes. Ooh.
Oh my god.
Good day, class. I'm Mark. This is Gonzo. Today we're talking about 6th edition. It's already here.
It's here, huh? You have all the stuff ready to go.
We're ready to do this thing. We're going to talk about 6th edition again.
Okay.
All right. So, we've had a lot of editions of Dungeons and Dragons right here in front of us. We have kind of on display all editions from 1st edition all the way up to 5th
there's the
edition.
Creature Codex and Tome of
And
Beasts.
each of these have been
in that book stack on the bottom of them.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. There. Pretty cool.
Good books.
Yeah.
enjoyed their moment in the spotlight, and
8 minutes,
some
that's
came
too
with
long.
people really think fondly of them. Others people don't talk about them anymore, and some of the editions didn't go over very well.
Not be named.
Yeah, it's kind of like Voldemort, right? You don't really say what that is, but there's been a lot of this is 2014 5th edition. And this is the time where it's been about 6 years and people start kind of rumbling, thinking, well, based on the track record of these, kind of feels like it's about time where someone should be talking about a 6th edition. When 6th edition coming? People are searching online, social media people are asking about it. I've seen
a lot of people were putting videos of, hey, 6th edition is a thing, or there were a lot of articles that were like, hey, 6th edition, but they were all wrong because 6th edition hasn't even been talked about.
Yeah, by the people
by
who make
the
it.
actual company. So
so
but
it's big energy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Media about 6th edition. We've done a video talking about 6th edition, which is right up here. What we know so far. But
which
really,
is to say nothing.
The circumstances, the world we're in, the situation we're in is really different, right, Gonzo?
It is different, and one of the things about each of these editions from first on up is that when they went to a next edition, they changed a lot of the game. Yeah. They changed the rules.
You need to reposition your microphone or something, guys, because I can't hear him.
Really?
I can hear him, but I had to turn the volume up.
It's just really low.
I just had to turn the volume up. It's so fucking low.
Yeah.
People aren't talking about a new edition, meanwhile, in every forum and subreddit. Oh, yeah, exactly, right? Well, that's the thing. They're talking about it, right? But what I'm saying is that there's nothing to talk about other than the speculation, right?
Yeah.
It's just a thing that it's like people are grumbling about, hey, it's been 7 years now, or whatever.
Man, has it really?
Technically, it came out in 2014, yeah.
Man.
Right? Like, they're grumbling about it, and they're still just making more stuff for 5th, and none of the staff of Wizards of the Coast are like, yeah, let's do another edition. None of them are like that.
Yeah.
Because 5e is a cash cow. It's not stopping.
Yeah, why would you make a new edition when the one you have currently is making so much money? There's no point.
Right.
It's like one of the I forget exactly what video it was. You remember the if blank were honest to you or something, like if corporations were honest, and one of them was Valve. It's like, okay, you have a popular thing that everybody likes, and they want you to make a third installment. But you also have this thing where you don't make any games, and you just sell other people's games, and you make way more money. What do you do?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Why would you make the third in Half-Life 3? Why would you make that when you don't have to make money anymore?
Yeah,
all you gotta do is just sell other people's games, and you make way more.
Yeah, they made Half-Life Alyx, to be fair. Like,
it's true, but that's not Half-Life 3.
Well, no, but it's because they can't make it anymore. They can't make Half-Life 3 because if they do, people will not care. It won't be as good.
It won't be the meme. The meme will die.
No, it's not even just the meme. It's literally just they can't get the expectation filled at all.
Yeah,
because that thing has been put to godhood, right? Like there's. It's the
like
holy
Duke
grail.
Nukem Forever until Duke Nukem Forever was
exactly
terrible.
Yes, because that came out and nobody liked it. It's bad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
liked it. No.
No, you didn't.
I never played it.
Yeah. There's a good reason for that.
Man.
There's a good reason. In a way, the race changes made in Tasha's and their latest Unearthed Arcana rulings on racial stats being universal is enough of a change to be a new edition. It's more errata, I would say.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with 6e coming out at a 10-year mark. There are things that they can do for 5e and still expand rules. Yeah. Well, no, when D&D 5e came out, I don't believe it was called 5e. I think it was just called D&D Next, which implies there won't be an actual new edition.
Well, no, it'll be D&D Next too.
Well, that's the thing. Remember, we're in the age of you can just name the game the same thing.
Oh, yeah. So now the next one is going to be John D&D.
Right, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. Or 5.5e, yeah.
Yes.
Alternatively, my hot take for 5.5e, this has never been done. This list will be completely objective. Yeah, that's a common one as well for the video titles. Or the videos themselves. And technically, the 5e books don't call it 5e, they just call it Dungeons and Dragons. That is true. That is fair.
But does 4th edition call it 4th edition?
Yeah, no, 4th edition isn't called 4th edition, I don't think. 3rd edition.
That's kind of a colloquialism that the players put on it.
Yeah, exactly. Tidy up the rules, had more alternate rules and stuff. Yeah, I think they could do that very easily.
I mean, hell, technically, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is 2e.
Yes. And they call it Advanced.
Yeah, but they call it Advanced. Mm-hmm. So even though everybody recognizes it as 2e.
Yes.
So mileage varies.
Yep. What if they delay 6th Ed until Critical Role finishes its season so they can sell it?
Well, I mean,
that would be smart.
That would be very smart.
That would be smart as hell. Be funny if Critical Role switched to a sci-fi game. Then they've done a bunch of different. They did Call of Cthulhu at one point. Like they
did one shots.
They've done a bunch of one shots with different systems, and like they've all been kind of fun.
I saw they had a Doom one. Well, how did that work?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
it seemed interesting, but I just didn't watch it.
Fair enough.
I remember seeing Randy Pitchford at a press event for Duke Nukem Forever when he came down to Oz. He had strong used card salesman vibes. Oh, Randy Pitchford's a piece of shit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, he's an absolute piece of human garbage.
He's a bad person, and we can all agree with that. Do some research if you don't know. No,
he's a reprehensible piece of garbage.
Yes, very bad.
Yeah.
Sad this is actually a possibility, like for Critical Role to switch. Yeah. Or for them to do it when Critical Role is done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, you got to remember that Wizards of the Coast is a business, and that's a good business tactic.
It is a good business decision. It was 5e, but with Doom homebrew. Okay. Cool.
Oh, okay. So like more demons and devils and shit. That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I hope they met the Doomslayer at some point.
No, you can't meet him. He would just
they were all cosplaying as like devil people.
Yeah, that's true.
Like hell people. So
yeah.
He probably would have just killed them.
Yeah, exactly.
Whole set. They maybe the art direction. They changed the way that people were. I mean, this was a big change because we went into the D20 system where everything used a 20-sided dice now to figure out if you hit or not, and that was a big change compared to the original. And so that is where we think that things have kind of come to a stop as far as looking for a change. Is 5th edition broken?
Nice.
And is there something in the rule set where we need another edition? And you and I have talked about this before.
Right.
We don't think so.
Yeah, it's really hard pressed to think when you start planning what do we need? Do we need normally we come up, we have new races, we have maybe different classes, or maybe there's something that's just flat out broken in one of the other editions that they fix and they fine tune and make it better. And as you start to look at what does 6th edition look like, I think Wizards would be hard pressed to come out with something that isn't already out there.
Well, and I think that's what we're getting at.
So then what I would say is they could, again, like re-release a bunch of things, right? Like, there's not much. So, okay. For a 6th edition, at this current moment, I don't think it's necessary. Like,
no, it's not.
I really don't think that we need another edition, but they're going to make it at some point, right?
Yes.
Because, again, we need to keep the money going.
Yes.
Because at some point, the books, they'll just go, we've already done it in this edition, let's do a new edition, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, I really don't, like, other than what we've just talked about with, like, putting in more options for DMs to use, right? Like, maybe, honestly, they could just make a DMG2 for 5e, right?
Yeah.
Like, and they tried to a little bit with Xanathar's and Tasha's. They added more, like, things in there for DMs to use, right? But, again, some of it, like, Xanathar's had some good stuff in it.
Xanathar's was good.
It was a very good addition to 5e. It had, again, like I said, with the tools, and it had, reasons for why your characters became the way they were, like a bunch of different things that were there for you to look at and use, and also with some new archetypes, right? So that was a great step, and if they did that every time, there'd be no need for another edition, right? And honestly, I feel like they could go and make a different, like, they might even branch out into, I don't know, a different
game.
Yeah, a different, like, setting, right? They could do, like, what Pathfinder did with Starfinder. Yeah, exactly.
That, honestly, I would love that.
Right? It would be pretty cool.
Because, like, it is a little bit annoying. Well, I wouldn't say annoying, but it is a little bit, what's the word? Frustrating? I'm not sure. To see all the resources and all the love and attention that D&D gets only ever go into D&D, I would love to see them make something new.
Because
I mean, like, they can.
Oh, they could.
They have the what's the word?
Resources.
Yeah, they have the clout to do it. Like you just say, it's like when Todd Howard said, "Hey, we're making a space game."
Yeah,
it's well, it's fucking God Howard himself making a space game.
Right.
I'm in already. You had me at God.
Right. Yeah, no, but the other thing is, right, like, I understand that they would want to kind of play it safe in the sense of.
But I mean, you have 5e. You have a safety net there.
I get that.
So it's like, man.
But like, I don't know, man. It does cost a bit to print books and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It costs money to have writers and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's why you just rip stuff off from Starfinder.
Exactly, right? Hot prediction: Drow no longer worship Lolth, and orcs now have a minimum into 15. That'd be hilarious. At that point, I'm just not playing D&D anymore.
Yeah, right.
It's just
or at least not the way they tell you to.
Right, exactly. I feel 6e is a minimum 5 years from playtesting to even start. Yeah, fair. I don't see it coming anytime soon. Yeah. Someone did that. It's Esper Genesis and Dark Matter, 2 5e sci-fi settings. Esper Genesis is self-contained game where you need the 5e core books for Dark Matter. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is the other thing, right? With 5e, the way that it is, you've already got all the stuff that you need from other people. You can can go and get whatever you want with that system, and it works.
Yeah, not to mention the simplicity of 5e makes it very modular.
Absolutely, yeah, like we were saying before.
So you can just fucking grab shit and be like, hey, this works with this, let's do this.
Yeah. So, like, 6e is it's just not in the cards, I don't think, for a long time.
Not for a long time.
Yeah, there's no reason, because, again, they can just
watch,
publish...
and, like, a week after this video, they're gonna fucking announce it.
That'd be great. I would laugh.
Yep.
Just like, why? I don't understand.
Yeah.
You just lost a bunch of people from your D&D Beyond subsidiary, and...
Well, that's why.
Oh.
They lost a bunch of people, and now we're like, shit,
we
gotta get them back. 6th edition, go!
That's not even the same company, I don't think. I don't know. Whatever.
Today is you have a giant stack of materials here next to you that is not produced by Wizards of the Coast.
Right.
But yet is different and offers a lot of those things you just mentioned, and has new subclasses, it has new monsters. There's books of monster manuals there. There's great puzzles created by Wally DM. There's new feats and different things you can do, and even rule sets where you can actually play the game a little bit differently within these books. And that's just one place you can get this stuff. We started talking about where does this information come from. Some of that comes from the open gaming license where people can create.
Yeah, so a lot of these you look at, some of these are companies that have made these, some of these are small individuals that have come out with one. I think of Matt Mercer in general. He came up with the Tal'Dorei system. This is his thing. It's basically a campaign setting that he created. He was able to do that legally. He can do that. In fact, all of these are legal. They're legal. They can do this
under on the black market.
Yeah, these are all completely legal. You can get these in various places. As we talked about, some of these you can buy straight from the companies. Some are available through crowdfunding.
Yep. Crowdfunding, Kickstarters, Indiegogos. That's a great way to get products made.
Some of these are available. Like this one is from Drive-Thru-RPG or DM's Guild, which Wizards of the Coast takes half the profits from that. So they're in on that creation. They get money from this. So
could you tell me what that is first off? Because I know it's a Xanathar. It looks like a Xanathar. I assume it's the.
But there's no way to know for sure,
right? Like I can't read it from here. I'm sorry, sir. My screen is small. I guess that's on me. But yeah. I would also, I don't know. Tell me what that is. But yeah, this is D&D has always had the open game license thing since third edition, I think. Because I don't second edition didn't have it technically, but it has it now, in the sense of like people can just do whatever with it now. So yeah, I don't know. 4E didn't? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. But like
it's D&D players.
It's been it's been one of those things where it's been around for quite a while, and it's like it's been something that you can do for a while, and it's added to the longevity, definitely. But I think with 5e, there's like like we said, it's the easiest one for you to do. D&D party or D&D Beyond is third party. Yes. Okay. Good to know. There's a pretty good 5e adaptation of Mass Effect. Ooh. Very cool. 6e, all normal races / species are out. Standard races / species are lizard folk, drow, orcs, goblins, and such. No, see, that would anger so many people. Oh, man.
Yep. Well, hey, as long as the Rule 34 artists can make them sexy, then it's fine.
Ah. Dude, that's just a given for anything. Come on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Come on. And for Cyberpunk, there's Altered Carbon 2185 and Gene Funk 2090 that uses the 5e chassis. Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
They went after people making third-party stuff and websites for 4e. Oh man,
that's bullshit.
Fucking Wizards. Now you're embracing it. Come on. Honestly, what I want from New Edition is for them to embrace the odd and weird. 4e had Shard Mind, Living Crystal People. 3.5 had Gravity Mages. 5th feels so safe. That's fair.
It does.
I feel like there's so much that they can pull from, again, that was in past editions that they could bring back. Like, people would definitely fucking clamor for Lupine to come back. I can see it. Fucking, I like Lupine. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're cool. Dog dudes.
Yeah, they're just dogmen. And they hate werewolves, and that's their thing, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, they have so much material that they've just thrown to the side because 5th edition is, again, so streamlined. But if they were to come out with something for the Underdark like they did back in 3rd, where they had so many different things, they had the ecology, basically, they had, like, every single race that lived in the Underdark. What were those halflings? Gloaming, yeah. Like, they have so many things they can go for to go with, but that's the thing. Like, they're so safe with it. I don't understand. Yeah. They don't want to take any chances because it is so appealing to everyone, and they don't want to exclude anyone, apparently, with it. Which I would say is one of those things where, yes, jack of all trades, master of none. Right?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wizards of the Coast didn't use the open game license with 4e. They saw what Paizo did by basically stealing 3.5, and they didn't want that to happen again with 4e. In hindsight, bad decision. Yes, agreed, because Pathfinder it innovated off it. So
yeah, it used it as a base. It didn't steal it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
The question comes:
what's their impetus to create?
Why create another book, right? When they have people making it for them, it's almost like they've outsourced it to all these people. So let's say you're looking for, you know what? I wish there were some more race options. These books have them. You know, maybe some more class options. These books have them.
Right.
Or social media. For free, you can go to Reddit. You can read on Reddit. People have ideas. Facebook groups. People share ideas. YouTube channels.
Now that's a big one. It honestly is, because YouTube has created a bunch of creators who are offering different ways. I know you know a couple. I do too. Yeah. And who are offering different ways to either play the game, you know, or alter the game, which may make it more fun for them. And this is kind of,
hey, go use our Astral Sorcerer or Astral Origin Sorcerer for 5e.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
A fun thing that we do as YouTube content creators, as well as YouTube consumers, where we go online and look for different ideas and ways to play the game. Yeah. Maybe we don't like the way encumbrance is used within the 5th edition rulebook.
Right.
So we see someone else's idea and we're like, oh, I'll use that. That makes more sense. It's easier to keep track of, and it still becomes a part of my game.
Absolutely.
We're saying that
I think, honestly, with 5e and the internet being the way it is now, that's the biggest thing that's going to stop them from making another edition for a long time, right? Because like they're saying, you have all these books, you have Reddit, you have the YouTube creators, you have all of these resources that people are making content for it. Like, they're not necessarily making money off of it, like Wizards themselves.
But it's being produced, and thus there's not really much point in, like, it's already being made. Why do we have to
I don't know how the open game license itself works, right? In the sense of, if you want to publish something for money, if you have to pay a bit to do it, I don't know. I've never looked into it. Right.
It most likely has to adhere to a very strict set of shit.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's one of those things that like I feel like, again, if that is something else as well, like, plus, or sorry, okay, let me finish that thought. If that's something else as well, then like if they are making money from people publishing for them in a way, then that's good. I don't know though.
Yeah,
but it's good for them. And then with D&D Beyond, the way that it is, they've figured out that people will buy that shit, and it's a monthly cost.
Yeah, it's like a subscription.
Yeah, I think so. And like you have to buy and it's stupid that you can't use books that you've already bought.
Yeah, I know that's horseshit.
Yeah, it's really bad, and I don't think that that's a good practice. But regardless of that, they are making a bunch of money from that too, even though it is another company, but they are paying Wizards something, right? Like that's something that they have to do. So like they have all these ways to make the money, and if they wanted to, they could shut down D&D Beyond or just buy it outright and like just make the money themselves, right? Like that's they have so much potential here to actually like get it to work. And again, I don't know much about the business. I'm just speculating for this, but I feel like they are in such a fine place for 5th edition that there is no need for them to even think about 6 for like 10 years. There's like I don't 5e's gone mainstream. The benefit is lots of people are playing, and it ensures the game will be around for a long time. The downside is it won't appeal to niche interests for fear of alienation. That's the thing, though. I feel like they could take a chance every now and again and release a book that's niche. I feel like they could. And then it becomes more mainstream because a lot of other people will see, hey, it's made by these guys, and then they might like it. Or if they don't buy it. Like Eberron, or like Icewind Dale, right? Where they completely or the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide that no one talks about because that was a thing that no one used. That I own, that I paid like $50 for. Still salty about it.
Yeah, I hate how expensive these books are, man.
Yeah, they're pretty expensive.
I wish that Warhammer books were cheaper too, given how much fucking money the minis are.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway,
that's
unrelated.
Yeah. Sure, it's fine to say let's outsource it, but have you ever had to try to convince your DM to allow those sources? I had to convince a DM to allow 3.5 psionics, and that was official. That's true as well.
Yeah, that is true.
And then the DM killed that character in session 2 with a mental magic immune golem.
Oh.
He didn't like your psionics, huh? What a dick.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Wizards of the Coast has pulled off the biggest con. They sell books in print on Roll20 on Fantasy Grounds on D&D Beyond, yet they don't sell 5e PDFs. It's not, it's one of those exclusivity things. I don't know. It's just, my Blade Singer would like a word with you. Thank you, Kill Chrono. I appreciate you. But now it's in Tasha's, and it's different, so, nah. And many people rebuy the same info multiple times. That is true. People do just rebuy it. I don't.
Yeah.
When it's all just online and you can find it pretty easily.
Now I know that I actually did do that for the new 7th edition, or no, 5th. No. Yeah, no, 7th edition, Malleus Monstrorum for Chaosium.
Okay.
But what I did was, when you buy their books, they give you both a PDF and the book.
Hey.
But, so, like, what happened was, it came out in PDF form. I'm like, fuck, I need to get this. I absolutely loved the original. So I bought the PDF, and what they do is, if you buy the PDF, you get a coupon for the book when it comes out. And so, I did technically buy it twice, but it at least was at a reduced cost after the fact.
Yeah. Even so, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
Also, Crown Paladin slept on, changed my mind. I didn't read that much of it, actually. I read it once, and then I was like, I don't want to play Paladin, so, But probably. I don't know. I got it. 6 of you will have proprietary dice that you have to buy separately. A D25 and a D50 instead of 2 or 3 books. You'll need to buy 5. Fighter, Paladin, and Wizard are gone. Releasing 8. Oh god, 8. Brain. Hello, August of 2021.
Yeah, dude. Everything is just DLC now.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's all the way it's always been for these kinds of things. Like, you
true.
need the DMG2 and all that shit, right? Like, that's the way it's always been. And again, it's fine. It's fine if they do it, as long as they're adding to it, right? As long as they're not detracting from the actual, like, game, I think. It's fine. Yeah, I bought all the hardcover books for Pathfinder and then bought the pocket editions. I honestly like the pocket editions better. Fair.
Oh.
I really just want to buy the pocket editions because they're tiny books and I want those. They're cool. But yeah, I'm not like saying that it's a bad thing to rebuy these kinds of things. If you want to buy it, fucking buy it. Do whatever you want with your money, right? As long as you're responsible with it. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah.
Oh, so I shouldn't be playing Warhammer then.
I'm also not responsible.
What you're saying?
You're right. But what I'm saying is, like, they should at least make it so that you can, I don't know, have a reduced price or something when you buy a physical copy. Like, or make it so that you do have the options there for you to not ever buy a physical copy, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. The exclusivity is one of those things that I'm a little like, eh.
Yeah, and the thing that always gets me is, like, I do have a local game store, but dude, I can't afford to buy anything from it.
Oh, no, of course not. Yeah,
because
they have pricing because they need to make money.
Yeah, and so it sucks because, like, it's always, support your local game store.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, I know, right?
I wish I could, but I can't, man.
I bought my Sword Coast Adventurers guide and my DM screen for 5e in my local game store, and my local game store closed the next, like, few months because no one was buying from it.
Yeah, because it's too expensive. I know that they have to fucking they have to mark up, but Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunately the way it is, because it's just like the shipping and they need the profit and all of that is all together. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate how, but you should try to support your local game store at least.
Yeah,
you know, if you can. But I understand if you can't. Like, it's totally fine. Star Trek game is about to start for me. Talk to everyone later. Dude, Mug, that sounds awesome.
Oh, a Star Trek. Fuck, dude.
Fucking Star Trek is so cool.
Yeah, man.
So when do we get the Tome of Rangers that re-breaks Rangers?
Never. I mean, honestly, hey, if they're broken in a good way,
we'll never
at least then it's easier to unbreak something than it is to improve something. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if they're broken in a good way where they're really, really strong, it's easy to nerf something. That's what I should say.
That's true. That's fair.
It's a lot easier to nerf something than it is to unbreak something. There we go. That makes sense.
Yeah. I got you. I just saw a meme that was posted.
Oh God.
But yeah, we'll never get Rangers to be okay.
Yeah. It sucks because I love Rangers.
Yeah. I can support mine, but I work full time, so I don't have time to actually play. Yeah, that's fair as well. Time is one of those things.
Yeah, time is money, friend.
Time is money, friend. My FLGS is doing fine. Excuse me.
Is that a gnome?
FLGS? Something in local game store?
Yeah.
Anyway, good. Survived the 2020 chaos. Good.
Is that a fucking ladybug minecart? Holy shit!
Yeah?
Sorry.
But anyway.
However you play the game within your group, that is 6th edition, because it's very rare that you're playing it rules as written. They call it raw. You're playing it raw within 5th edition, unless you're maybe in Adventures League.
Yeah.
I know Adventures League tries to stay with rules as written, but outside of that, almost everyone is playing what they call homebrew, right? Or they're playing their version of D&D by altering the game in ways that they enjoy within that group. And that we would consider to be our 6th edition. Because
What? Sixth edition is homebrew.
So then I've been playing the next edition every time I homebrew every edition.
Yeah. No.
I mean, okay, if you consider that for you, then okay. I don't understand that. So
yeah, no, sorry, that's pretty dumb.
Agree to disagree, sir.
Yeah.
Lord tried to support my local game store by going to Magic the Gathering days, but I'm not going to spend $1,000 to be competitive with 4 copies of Lillian of the Veil. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. Magic is a little hard to be competitive.
It's really hard to get professional in anything. Let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether it's a game or anything.
Yeah. The real 6th edition is the friends and homebrew rules we made along the way. You got that right.
Yeah.
Because you can take what you like, throw out what you don't, and plop it on your table and then have fun.
So just to address it a little bit, I would still consider it 5th edition if you're still using the core rules of 5th edition.
Yeah, you're updating, if you're homebrewing 5th edition, you are playing homebrewed 5th edition.
Yeah,
you're not playing 6th.
You're not playing 6th edition. Again, very strange, but you do you.
Yeah.
It's hard to how Wizards of the Coast would just wade in and step all over some of these other books that have been made, step on any of the stuff that's out on social media people have created. It really is kind of hard. Like, how would they even wade in and say, hey guys, you got to buy a whole new book and we're starting all over?
They did it with 3rd.
Yeah, they did it with 3rd. They did it with 4th.
I have bought a bunch of different 3rd publication, like third-party stuff for 3rd that was in my local game store before it closed because it had a bunch of them, and I was like, ooh, and there's a bunch of them that were there, and you can still buy them. Then guess what? I don't know when 4th came out. I don't know when 3rd ended, but they're still there.
Yeah,
right. It's not hard for them to just go 6th.
It's not hard for them to just go sex.
Yes, it's not hard for them to have sex.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, they're nerds, so no, it is.
They would have a very compelling reason to do that. It'd have to be some monumental changes in the book and the rule system.
So I agree for I agree for people like us.
Yes. For
who
us,
actually,
yes.
And them as well. I agree for all of us. Yeah, it'd be hard for them to sell me a 6th edition at this point. But for the masses, I don't think they give a shit.
Yeah, no, you know what? They need a monumental reason to. Wait, were they saying a monumental reason for someone to pick up 6th?
For them to say this is 6th.
Oh no, they don't need a monumental reason.
They don't.
The reason is money.
The reason is we are making 6th edition.
Yes.
Right.
And also we like your money. Give us more of it.
Exactly.
Thank you. Bye.
I think that a majority of people would either just say okay and buy it, or they would say I'm all right and just keep playing 5th.
It's I'm just gonna keep playing 5th.
Yeah,
that's what they did with 3.
That's what they did with 3. That's what they did with 4. I assume for some people. That's what they did with 2. That's what That's what they did with basic. That's what they did with It's how it works. I don't know.
Yeah.
D&D players having sex? What is this bizarre universe we live in? Dude,
yeah, no.
People have had kids. It's crazy.
No, they haven't.
They don't exist.
They're kidnappers. You know it.
Oh, gotcha.
We just see that coming. Almost anything you'd ever want is kind of already out there. So what we're saying, honestly, is that 6th edition's already here.
No, it's not.
It's here. That's for sure. And I feel like what we've said.
That's for sure.
Don't fix it. And because it works so well, is why all these products are being created by.
No. So okay, a couple of things. So if it isn't broke, don't fix it. First off, there are some things in 5e that need to be fixed.
Yes,
like the Ranger. But also,
fucking Wizards will never admit that.
No, they'll never. No, they'll. Secondly, people make a lot of these different systems because there are a lot of things inside of 5e that aren't there. They need, right? Like what was said with Mage Hand Press and their Artificer and their Crafter and having crafting, that's a big thing that isn't in 5th edition. There are problems here that they could fix with a 6th edition, sure, but it's some that are for people that are not the majority, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't think... I hope that more people... I want to be wrong about this, but I don't think that there are many people who are going around going, I need crafting in 5e, right? I don't think that's the case because I don't think a lot of people bring it up. Now, please, tell me I'm wrong about that. That would be nice.
Because crafting good.
Crafting good.
Crafting good.
They just rolled for intercourse and got nat 20s. That's true. I don't know, guys.
Intercourse or charm? Or like persuade, or I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Either that or they're just all bards.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know, guys. This is dungeon class. Okay, these guys are teachers. Okay. No. I mean, to be fair, they're just called dungeon class, and they're not like spouting that they are official like teachers of it or anything.
Well, they do say welcome class. That does kind of imply teacherism.
I get that, but they're not going, I'm a professor. Right?
I mean, neither did the other guy.
No, he did.
The one that actually teaches D&D classes.
No, which one was that? Talking about Dungeon Craft?
No, not him.
Because that's the one I was thinking of, because he says that he calls himself professor.
Yeah,
right?
No. Who was the guy who was like... it was someone we did talk about, and he was really good. We all liked the video.
Oh, Bill Allen.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
So doesn't he actually like espouse?
I
don't know.
He's a teacher, but he's not teaching. Well, he is kind of teaching, but like it's not like he's self-proclaiming that he is teaching it, right? He's just a teacher.
Yes. Who's teaching it?
Yeah. It's different.
I
know. We need people to buy 6th ed. Release the crafting. Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. No. When they say class, they mean your character class, not that you're students.
Oh, I get it.
I don't even know if that's even true.
Man, could you imagine that? It's like, hey, we need to go into this cave. Hey, class, go do that.
That'd be great.
Big oof.
But yeah, no. So strange that you would call it that. People that are making homebrew content and stuff like that is 6th edition. That's very strange.
Yeah, it's really weird.
There's still 2 minutes left?
Creative people. Yeah. You know, because they like the bones of how 5th edition is designed. Why all this product is coming out. And they're just tweaking it here and there or just adding to the game.
Right.
We encourage you, as creators yourselves, as dungeon masters, as players, to make the game fit the style that you want to play. To make it where you are enjoying the game and your group's enjoying the game. And if there's something you don't like, you don't have to play with the rule. That's what's beautiful about this game in itself.
That's true.
So,
if you would like to have more of this conversation, we would like you to subscribe and join our Discord. Down below there are...
All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that at the end they were just like, just play it however you want. Because, again, not enough people.
Because that's kind of like D&D is what you're supposed to do.
Kind of like how it works. So, it's good video overall, I think. It's not anything...
it's fine. It's wrong, but
it's a little wrong. Yeah, I would say.
Well, I would say the whole argument of homebrew is 6th edition. That's patently false.
That is I don't think that's true. I view 5e is more a framework you can easily add stuff to. That's fair.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I was saying it's very, very modular.
Yes. I made an old-fashioned using Maker's Mark. Therefore, I have created Maker's Mark V2. Exactly, right? Convenient that 6th edition is homebrew, so we are always right in our speculation. Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, overall, the channel is, from what I've seen, inoffensive.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, like, for more than just this that I've seen. So, like, I think it's pretty inoffensive. I think that overall, what they do is pretty good, because I think they've had some good topics.
That's good.
But, yeah, I don't know. We might cover something else from them at some point, because this was very short and kind of nothing. But... that's what 6th edition is right now. Short and kind of nothing.
Emphasis on the kind of nothing.
Yeah, it's like, again, if they had talked about like what the other guy had done with like what we could see in a 6th edition, then it would have been more constructive, because then you could also be commenting on what 5th edition is doing that needs to be improved on. Which
what it lacks.
Yes, which is what some...
Which we have fucking whinged and cringed about a lot.
Right, yeah, exactly. Nah, it's just fun to meme on softball takes. That's true. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's that part of the topic. Now, I need to take a moment and use the restroom, so I will be right back.
Okay.
Please entertain them.
I'm playing Terraria, man.
Then tell them tell them what you're doing, and live, narrate it. Have fun.
Oh, okay. That works. I mean, I used to do that for a living, right? Oh, he wasn't there for that shit. Right now, I'm just going through the jungle. I'm playing. This is my first world that I've ever started out on expert mode, and I don't know. I just kind of felt like doing it because it had been a long time since I played Terraria, and at the moment, I'm just exploring the surface world and grabbing all the chests that spawn near the surface and give you some useful stuff. So, just kind of messing around at the moment. I do have tungsten armor, though, so it's not that bad. It's not all that. Like, the regular slimes and stuff aren't really a problem anymore. Especially now that I have a very, very useful weapon that I've never found before. It's a chain knife. Because it just throws it out, knocks him back a little bit, comes back, and you just immediately throw it out again. So it's really nice and quick. That's why I don't know if you can hear it, but man, I am clicking a lot. No, I can't catch you. And I'm also trying to catch a lot of critters this time around. Because I know that there is that new NPC, the zoologist, and I want to see what kind of stuff that they can give me if I fill up the BC area a lot. But without wings, it's been a bitch to get the birds. All right, let's see. Oh, a turtle. I'm gonna go catch you. Come on. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay. These jungle slimes just won't stop, though. Let's see. Gotta clear out some inventory. I also found a burger for the first time, so that's fucking cool. I didn't realize they had added burgers in. What?
How was that?
I did what I said I would do.
Okay, well, good.
I entertained the people talking about Terraria.
There you
I'm
go.
catching critters and shit.
Oh, nice. Peach Funk says Terraria is pretty cool, so there you go.
Yeah.
All right. I get bored.
Well, you never played it. Oh, you never beat it.
I mean, I beat it back when it was way shorter.
Yeah, and so you haven't beat all the cool new shit.
Yeah, but I get
because you get to fight fucking like zombie space Cthulhu. It's awesome.
Yeah, but I just get so bored. I don't know, dude.
That's fair.
RimWorld's great. Yeah, RimWorld's great. And Valheim.
But I tried playing RimWorld. I can't figure that shit out. It's so complicated.
I've watched so many people play it at this point that I'm like, oh man, yeah.
I know. I watched the Spiffing Brit do his organ harvesting shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hey, that's great.
How's it going? Ready to flip tables. Nice.
Yes.
Starbound. Starbound's pretty cool too.
Yes. You and I played that.
Yeah, we did for a little while.
That was really fun.
Aiden also played that with you, I think. More than me.
Yes, I think so. Remember when we had Flower Base and I fucked it up?
I saw that. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Oh, that was me and Aiden. Oh, I thought
I was around in it, but then you fucked it up apparently. And I was like, oh, neat.
I used like a terraformer and it turned it into a swamp.
Oh.
Yeah, it was real sad. But it's okay. Just character progression.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I want to get into Valheim. I want to get that game as well.
Yeah, Brogan apparently got it.
Yeah, I saw. And he said it's pretty cool. And
I'm surprised he just jumped right in and bought it.
Yeah, right?
Especially since it's another, like,
survival.
Survival game.
Yeah.
And he always gives up on those real quick.
Yeah, I know. I think it has enough in it though that he'll actually stay interested, which is good. Because 7 Days to Die, like we've been doing.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Anyway, aside from that, hi.
Hello.
Back.
The man behind the mask.
The man behind the mask, indeed. Okay, off topic again, but I just need to talk about this for a second because I didn't tweet it out on my personal Twitter and because it was to my email and it had my email on it and I didn't want to share that to everybody. But fucking I got this. So remember Valentine's Day came and went, right?
Yes. Happy Single Awareness Day.
There you go. Yeah, Single Awareness Day day came, and Domino's sent me a fucking email, and it was so dumb. I was just like, what? No, this doesn't make me want to eat your pizza. Let me find it. Oh god. I don't know why. Okay, so it was literally a pizza emoji, a heart emoji, a pizza emoji, a love face emoji, a pizza emoji, a blue heart emoji, a pizza emoji, and then this was just the title of it. And so it just says, "Pizza always loves you back." And I'm over here going, "Oh, okay, bastard."
I don't think it does. You ate it.
First off, yeah, I eat pizza. Second off, don't, come on. don't do that. I might be all alone, but come on.
Yeah, no.
Just
like,
because
what?
somebody else doesn't love me back doesn't mean that pizza's the only thing I need to love me. It was weird, and I hated it.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
I had to say something.
I fucking hate it when corporations try to get in on like memes and
There's
shit.
only a couple of times where it's been okay, right? Like,
yeah, right.
Dude. Okay, I know we're super off topic again, but you remember fucking Mr. Peanut? They killed him and then brought that baby Peanut.
What?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Oh, dude.
Is there video evidence?
Oh,
like, are there
dude.
No. Oh.
No, I wish, but like, legitimately, they killed off Mr. Peanut and then they replaced him with Baby Nut, which is just baby Mr. Peanut, and it's stupid. It's stupid, and I hate it. Oh God.
I'm gonna be honest. I love it for the name alone.
It's a good name, but it's not good. Like, they killed off their like long time standing thing.
They killed off Superman.
They killed off.
Bring it back.
Right? They killed off the fucking. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, that's real dumb. What the fuck?
You got that email too? Yeah, fair. Primaris Peanut. Oh God.
What the fuck?
No, he's a baby. He can't be a Primaris.
I found a staff that lets me summon a finch, a baby finch that's attacking zombies.
Nice.
Okay.
Is it effective at least?
What?
Is it effective at least?
I mean, I don't have to go near them, and it's killing them for me. So yeah.
Oh my God, that's right. I zoned out for a bit, but I heard corporations using memes, and now I'm just thinking of Jared Leto's Joker literally saying we live in a society in the Justice League trailer. Fuck that. So dumb.
Dude, the fucking Grubhub commercial.
Oh Jesus. All of those. Anyway, all right, let's move on from this. We're gonna go down.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Sorry. Okay, one more. Have you seen the fucking Kroger commercials?
Yeah, dude, I work there.
Yeah, well, it's your fault then.
It is.
Fucking.
You know what they're called? Cromojis.
I fucking hate this. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
me too. Also, for some fucking reason, there is a there's a Kroger website where you can buy like apparel. So like if you need to get like a visor or a hat while you work there, it just has a Kroger label on it.
Sure.
There is a Kroger shirt that has like a unicorn on it.
Okay.
It doesn't have any Kroger, like, you know what? I need to look this up now. Fucking hell, why are you gonna make me do this?
I didn't make you do anything. You're making you do
Let's
this.
See here. Okay, Kroger apparel website. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see here. That's it. Kroger e-store. Yeah. Let's see.
Just keep hearing low in my head, and I fucking hate it. Because it's just like that. Hasn't that song been dead for like a long while now?
I have no idea. Where is the? Oh, okay. So this is like uniforms and stuff. Okay, so.
Well, you find that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get that other meme that I saw.
Yeah.
So.
That's it.
Draco Kraken put another meme, but we'll look at that in a second. Show me this thing, and I will put it on the screen.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
I just gotta find like Jesus Christ. This has a lot of fucking stuff.
Can you not like filter by unicorn?
I wish.
Control F unicorn, maybe.
This is a Kroger hand clapper. You know those plastic things that
Jesus,
like move back. There's Kroger socks. Yes, good.
Man, what? Okay.
Okay, so okay.
What?
What the?
I don't need any cremojis. I just want to buy a reasonably priced rotisserie chicken. Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's all I
see here.
need.
Shirt.
Okay.
If
Well, I'll show off this.
There it is! Fucking. Ah!
Oh Jesus! You all right there?
There it is. Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. Give me the link.
I completely forgot about that.
Give me the link.
There it is.
Give me the link.
Here you go.
Okay.
Show the people this.
I will.
It's Eldritch knowledge, guys. Just so you know. You might. This is like a Cthulhu Mythos tome, okay?
Oh Jesus Christ! Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope. I can give you the link to the actual.
No, I don't want it. Thank you.
Good.
Here, everyone. There it is.
It's the cheapest shirt that they offer.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm not gonna describe it for audio listeners. Sorry. You don't need this in your life. All right. So let's go to something that's actually funny.
Yes.
And cool.
Yes.
So Draco Kraken posted a meme. And video games from 2011 to current. Put this shit in everything. It's the inventory and crafting system for Minecraft, and then D&D 5th edition. Get that shit out of here.
Yeah. Oh god, that's too accurate.
It's great. It's really good. Oh my god. Yeah, that thing was not great. Again, not describing it because
yeah, nope.
You can go find things if you want to, but you shouldn't. Yep. Anyway, so it is time for shoutouts and shill talk. As is usual, because that's the segment that I have named it. Because fucking alliteration. Yay.
Yeah.
So
that's all we do here.
That's all we do here. So when is Elon offering space flights to Mars? That's fair. That was the worst shirt. It was. So thank you to our patrons for giving us the money to bring you the content. It's crazy. So Draco Kusagi, top of the list. Thank you so much for the tier 3 patronage. It's very cool of you. Very much appreciate it. Hope you have continued to think that it's worth it, especially after we showed you such horrible things. Secondly, Slazer has upped his pledge to the tier 3, so thank you as well. Fucking insanity of you to do it, and we appreciate it immensely. It's ridiculous. Thank you. Steely as well is at that tier 3. We've got 3 tier 3s, dude. It's crazy.
What's tier 3?
Tier 3 is the 15.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
what
I know.
You
guys are insane, and we thank you so much. Like,
yes,
it's ridiculous. Not to say that we don't also thank Drake Cross for giving $10 a month for the tier 2. Very cool. Like,
we just thank him $5 less.
But no, legitimately, any amount, I know. Any amount that you give, any viewership, any comments, any likes, like, we fucking appreciate them so much. And you and Mog Zero as well for your tier 2s of patronage. Thank you so much. I still don't believe it every time I look at it. As well as Frozen Spaghetti at tier 1. And
don't make me quote a certain orange man.
Kill Chrono also at tier 1. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. Really appreciate it. So when are we making Table Flipper 3 houses? Nice. Tier 3, you gain access to dual wielding tables. Flip 2 tables simultaneously. Hey.
Oh my god.
There you go.
You know, I actually did have an idea for a oh my god.
What?
When the finch that's fighting for me, when it's not fighting for me, it's in a nest on top of my head.
That's
and
adorable.
I actually have a nest on top of my head at all times.
That's
anyway,
adorable.
I was thinking that what I might be able to do whenever it actually gets finished, and yes, I am actually continuing to write it. I don't just talk about it. I don't just say that I'm writing my Call of Cthulhu campaign and just not do it. I actually am writing it because I know that does happen with some people. I was thinking that we could have a I don't know what tier it would be. It may be 3, where you could get it for either a discount or free.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Hey.
Because I am going to be putting it on DriveThruRPG when it's complete, but yeah.
There you go. Hey, you heard it here first. Fucking sick, dude. That sounds awesome.
I can't go back on it.
Nope,
Shit.
can't. You're fucked now.
I wouldn't. No, that was what I had been thinking.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, that's super cool. Absolutely. So
I know that not many of you guys play Call of Cthulhu, but hey, it could be a good introduction.
Yeah, that's true. So let's see. The other thing. Oh, there's a bunch of other things. Pathfinder 2. What if we put in crafting that made it so players regret taking it? Just kidding.
So Ranger again?
No. No, in Pathfinder, the crafting's okay.
Oh, Pathfinder, right.
Yeah. Pathfinder 2e crafting has grown on me, but I wish they had more nuanced systems. Fair. My favorite Star Wars... No, sorry, I'm not laughing at this, but my favorite crafting system in an RPG is the one in Star Wars Edge of the Empire.
Oh.
Okay.
I think I actually have that book.
Hey, okay, cool. Look at me, guys. I'm number tier 1. Yeah, you are, Kilchrono.
Hey.
Yeah, you are. Tier 3 gives you the secret to immortality that the old ones hid from the Necrons. True fact, not true fact. Yes. Call of Cthulhu is huge in Japan. That is true.
It is.
It's neat.
It's kind of interesting, but I can understand why, because it's like 1920s America and tentacles.
Wow.
You know, I'm just fucking around.
So the other thing, of course, as always, hey, we have a store on TeePublic to get the logo on a shirt or a mask or a mug or whatever. Go do that. It goes on sale occasionally. It never tells me when. Now it is not on sale. So that's a thing. But
looks like you missed your chance.
At some point, it'll probably go on sale.
Looks like you should have already bought it. It's like Bitcoin. If you'd bought it today, you would have doubled your money by now.
Right, exactly. Or what the stocks thing. But
yeah, GameStop.
Yeah, but yeah, so
fucking weird.
So that's a thing on TeePublic. Go check it out if you want to support us in another way and get a physical thing. So that is it for I
would say that unicorn shirt is so bad it was a physical thing.
It was a physical thing, you're right. That is it for all of the shoutouts and the shilling out. Okay, so I feel bad because the other week I was knocking you for suggesting you run Lovecraftian horror in a D&D game, and now I'm planning a game where my players have to fight Cthulhu. So I have an excuse to use my Star Spawn of Cthulhu mini and all of my new Bloodborne board game minis. There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Well, there you go. Ha!
Yep.
You've done it to yourself.
Now you know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just want to do that shit.
Yeah. So, let's move on, because I think it's a good thing to go to. This is a video from a channel called Roll for Crit.
Okay.
And it is very loud! Ah! Okay, cool. So, this is from Roll for Crit, and it is called, Why Do Most D&D Campaigns Stop at Level 10?
Because the end game sucks.
Yes! Exactly.
Video over! No.
But I would like to see, because this is apparently, they got stats from D&D Beyond.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And it says in their description, if I find it here, yes. Oh, my OBS died. Hold on.
Oh. Technical difficulties.
Yeah,
like
as
always.
usual. Cool. Why is it doing this? There we go. Reconnection successful. It was only a drop for a second. We're good.
That's good.
So, sorry about that. But my internet seems to kill me occasionally. So, welcome back. But this is, so it says stats from D&D Beyond in 2019 indicate that a very few Dungeons and Dragons campaigns progress past with characters past level 10. Why is that the case, and is it a good or bad thing? We discuss it in this video. So, that'll be neat. So let's get to it. Chaosium did do a Cthulhu book for 5e. That is true.
Yes, they did.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right, here we go. That's a cool intro. I like that.
Yeah. Very Super Mario Galaxy sounding.
Today we're going to talk about D&D because we've finally been able to get a lot more games under our belt, so we're more curious to talk about it, as well as 2 articles. One that actually came out at the beginning of 2019 and one at the very end. These were from EN World. You can take a look, and they talk about sort of the player retention going from levels 1 all the way to 20.
Yeah, and the interesting thing that they found, they used stats that were taken from D&D Beyond, which is the digital companion officially from Wizards of the Coast. You can input your character stats, your campaign info, all kinds of stuff in there. A lot of digital content for your D&D campaigns. And they found that there is a very small percentage of players that actually proceed beyond level 5, and then even fewer that go beyond level 10. There's like a much harsher drop off there. If you're not familiar, of course, level 20 is the cap for Dungeons & Dragons, and this is just about 5th edition. But it is interesting to see that very few campaigns progress beyond that level, in spite of there being, of course, rules in place for, you know, going that far. You know, that's part of the books. It's not like that's less focused on.
It's not the weird epic variant or something.
Right. It's a core part of the rules. And, you know, people, I feel like in common slang and jokes, people joke about, oh, level 20 this, level 20 that. Like, you talk about it as if that the game encompasses these things all equally. But in reality, it seems like, at least based on people who are using D&D Beyond, that's not really the case for a lot of players.
So it's interesting to see that 5 has a drop off, like level 5.
Yeah.
Because like
level 5 is a fun 5 to 10 is honestly kind of a fun level.
Yeah, that's when you get
portion,
your third level
Fireball.
spells. Yeah, and like you
that's
get
when
another...
you've become a character.
Well, you've become a character at level 3, right? Like that's when you get your archetype. So only having another 2 levels, I guess it might be starting at level 1 and then going to level 5.
Yes.
So, and this is the thing, I would say for players, level 1 is kind of shit.
It always has been.
Yeah, like level 2 is better, but it's not until level 5 that you actually like get to be your character and actually get to have cool things. Like, unless you're a wizard, I guess. Wizards get their stuff at the beginning. But even so, it's not great.
Yeah, it's not really the best.
It's probably because a lot of starter adventures end at 5, like Lost Mines. Okay.
That could be.
That
like modules?
Yeah, that makes sense in that case. For the starting stuff, that would make a lot of sense. And then they move on to maybe something else. Like another module, but at a higher level, maybe. So, yeah, okay, interesting.
It could also be a case of people like trying it out. It's like, oh, let's try this adventure, and then they find out they don't like it.
Yeah,
it could be as simple as that.
Yeah, could also be that. It's just a stat, so not too much to go off of other than the statistic.
Yeah.
So then I question is that the discussion I think we have is why do we think that's happening, and also like, is that good? Is it bad? Does it matter? So what do you think might be a cause for why don't people go beyond level 5 or 10?
Well, one of the first things you have to look at is that this is data from D&D Beyond, so it's not a big survey taken from like a lot of D&D players.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So I think you're gonna get people who are more like, oh, here's the digital thing.
I would venture to guess though that if it were real life, the numbers would be even lower.
It might be, but I think
these are the hardcore players, right? So like more casual are probably.
I would think more casual would use the digital, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think this is.
That's actually a good point because I think.
Yeah, because like if you're a casual player, like in D&D Beyond, only the DM really needs to have the books, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So, I mean, you could just be like, hey, you want to play this game? Oh, do I have to buy anything? No, I'll take care of it. Oh, okay, cool.
Well, even then, I feel like in real life, you can do the same thing, right?
It's true.
And, like, again, there's so many online resources that you can use to just supplement. Like, D&D Beyond gives you a bunch of information already that you can use, not like, in their site, but, like, from their site. in a way, right? Because I remember looking up a bunch of different rulings, and like some of them would be from D&D Beyond of like, this is what this item says, right?
Yeah.
But that's only for like basic stuff, I think, because the basic rules have those in it. I suspect the other reason why those stats favor the lower level is because a lot of people are probably just making characters for the sake of making characters.
That also could be.
So I don't know how these stats were collected, right? Like,
that's the other thing.
With D&D Beyond, if it is literally just they look at all of, or if they put out a survey and then they asked, how many characters have you made? How many are at this level? Like all of that kind of stuff. If that's the case, then like, yeah, it's not hard to go, oh, you've made a bunch of characters at level 1 that you haven't played before, and now we're using that as in our stats, right? And like that is not representative, unfortunately, but I don't know how they did it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I wish that they had talked about if they knew or that in the video, but we'll see if they do. It can be hard to keep a campaign together, so that probably contributes a lot. Groups play 3 or 4 levels, then drop off for whatever reason. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately just how it is sometimes. Because like I know for a group that I was in, that I used to play with, I couldn't make it to things anymore because I have just other things that I need to do, and it's more just like my time management is not great, unfortunately. So I had to drop out, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to keep like disappointing you guys by not showing up and not being able to play, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not fair to you guys. So
drop out.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drop out, and
that's always the worst way to leave.
Oh yeah. I literally,
like,
I just sorry,
what?
I just saw the fucking Pizza Funk did another meme.
Oh God. Pizza Funk, calm down.
So good.
We can only handle so many.
I love it. I gotta show it now. I just okay. So bad.
Oh God.
I love it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is it the shirt?
Yeah, it's the shirt.
Fuck's sake. What have I done?
You've created a monster. You've created a fucking monster. Oops. Here you go. Have that.
Hang on. There's a jungle slime. Give me a second.
Fine. The torture. It's pretty bad. There's also another one which is pretty good. That Draco Kraken said.
Ah!
I thought you guys were cool.
No.
I thought you guys were cool. That's fair. You know what? I never made the claim.
Yeah.
The shirt we didn't know we needed. That's fair. And then Draco Kraken put this one, which is good. Wanted for the mass murder of TTRPG games. Suspect should be considered armed and annoying scheduling conflict. It's true. What was I saying before? Sorry, I got fucking every day God weeps for us. That's true. We stray farther.
Every day we stray further from God.
From God's light, dude. Anyway, so yeah, it's one of those things where time management, scheduling conflicts, all of that stuff is definitely something that will contribute to that kind of thing. I actually wonder how many people started TTRPGs or increased their playtime during COVID. I think a lot, honestly.
Yeah, probably a lot.
There's a lot more digital ones, at least, because that's the only way that it works, right? At this point. Well, not the only way, but that's the safest way for it to work.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, it's a good way to kill time.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. You're doing something.
Yeah.
And I know
something that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and I know especially like having gone through and going like, oh man, isn't it great to like pretend that we're around a bunch of people and shit and it's okay? Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Well, maybe for you.
Well, for the character that I'm playing, yes.
Oh, yeah, for the character.
Yeah. I haven't played any RPGs during COVID. That's unfortunate, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
like more like they delve into it. These are the people who are really like they look up everything about it. It could be a little of both, but my guess is the results wouldn't be that different.
Maybe, yeah.
That's my guess.
I think part of the problem is I think in the comments a lot of people mention is fatigue. Maybe at that point the story has run its course. Assuming
in 5 levels.
In the articles we read, I don't think they.
So I suppose an arc can, because I've been going through with my Wednesday group, because I still have time to do that, thankfully. But with my Wednesday group, we've gone through 2 arcs.
Damn. And
we are, I think I'm level, I'm not that high level, actually. I think I'm like level 5 or 6. I don't know. But like, it took us 2 years to go through these 2 arcs, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on what you mean, because this is the other thing. When I was talking to my friends before as well, it was like when they said we're getting my dungeon master said that we were getting close to the end of the campaign, and I was like, what? There's still so much to do. And then I was like, do you mean arc? And they were like, oh yeah. No, I meant arc, because that's I just kind of use campaign as that stand-in, but yes, it's an arc. And I was like, okay, good, because like there's so much more we literally have made plans for. I don't understand how we could end it. So if that's happening as well, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. We need something to take our minds off this disease. Well, I just picked up Fall of Plague Stone.
Oh my god.
Yee. Oh.
Talk about whether there's a difference between if you're playing through milestone variant or the actual XP level up. The difference being like XP level up, you earn XP from your actions, so you actually keep track of that and count it. When milestone is really, you're not doing that. The DM just decides like, you've hit this point, congrats, you got a level. And I wonder if that could affect retention at all.
Yeah, well, I know
one of them is much more of a numbers game.
Right. XP, the standard classic way, is definitely experienced, and I know that's really what's presented in the core rule book. So I'm guessing that most, if not all, of these players, probably not all, but I would guess that most of them are using that format.
But I think another big thing is simply life happens. There's one RPG, it was the Stars RPG, that we haven't gone back to because people just moved away. And maybe by the time you hit 10 or 11, maybe that's when something happens, a life choice, you meet new people. Maybe you got into a big...
Well, that's totally out of the realm of like being able to become like calculated with the stats. So I mean, I understand your speculation, but it is irrelevant in this case. It could be what happened, sure.
Yeah, but I mean,
I don't think that's a common thing for 10th level, right?
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. I mean, again, it could. It's not irrelevant. I guess it is just anecdotal. That's it.
Yes,
it's anecdotal. People, I want to try this D&D thing everyone's talking about, me, an intellectual. Have you ever heard about our Lord and Savior Pathfinder? I wanted to take my mind off the COVID, so I binge watched The Stand. I've heard of that. Why have I heard of that?
The original or the new one? It's a Stephen King teleplay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I want to try D&D. Cool. Do you have at least 3 other people? That's true as well. Yeah. That is one.
And also like $100 to spend on books.
Again, not necessarily. It depends.
Well, one of them.
You need at least one of them. That's true.
Yeah, one of them will need to have some books.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you need at least one book, which is the Player's Handbook. That's really all you need.
Oh, yeah.
The new one, not as good as the original. Okay.
Yeah, no, agreed.
I haven't seen it, so cool.
I didn't see it. I saw the Cinema Snob review it, and like he brought up like points from the original one, and
okay.
Yeah.
Disagreeing with someone, just don't want to play with them anymore.
Yeah, it takes a long time in a lot of play sessions sometimes to get to these places. And yeah, you're right. That's probably a lot of campaigns just don't finish. Or like you said before, maybe you just start a new campaign because you're like, well, we either finish the story or I just want new characters because I'm only level 7.
I want to play a character because I was the DM.
Right, that too. There's all kinds of reasons you just want to start a new campaign and not carry everything forwards throughout. And I wonder also, like maybe things just aren't as exciting. You know, levels 10 through 20, certainly when you get closer to 20, I think there's room for concern about, at this point, your characters probably have so many magical items, they have all these new abilities, they're maybe overpowered, maybe things aren't as suspenseful, and maybe it's just not as exciting as the journey, the hero's journey of starting from scratch and growing and going to level 10 or even level 5 is, you know, when you start to really, I think, solidify.
But
So yeah, especially we've said before, level 20 is everything is so fucking spongy. It's just there's so much HP, and it takes combat will take you at least an hour.
Yes, every time. Every time.
Yeah, there's no way to speed that up because everything has so much HP. So it's not something that I'm a big fan of. That's why at that point I think what you would want to do, at least what I would want to do, excuse me, is make it again more intrigue based at that point, because that's harder to just hit your way through. You can still hit your way through things, but it's due to your actions, I think, more so. The Stand is about a plague that wipes out 99% of humanity and how their survivors survive. Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Cool. Bought the Pathfinder 2e PDF, though would have bought 5th ed if they had a PDF. Yep. That's the fact that they don't have one that you can just buy is really annoying, and that's probably a big reason why a lot of people don't have it. No joke, my bro was originally going to have a plague sweep the main city in his campaign, then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that happened to a lot of people. I gotta like figure, right? Like, cause
I mean, plagues are a relatively common story element.
Yeah, they're a good one to use.
Yeah.
It's just
because I mean it's a
big thing.
It's like societal collapse almost.
In a way, yeah. And hey, now we can do it with experience.
Yeah. So now just make everybody act like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Stand also inspired a kick-ass song by Anthrax, Among the Living.
Oh, okay, cool.
Counterpoint to power. What about things like Fallout? I mean, any new game nowadays where you're grinding, get levels, and get all these crazy powers. I mean,
modern video game.
I feel like you don't have 10%. Was it like 10% only make it halfway through leveling?
I think it's very different because, like you said, a lot of it comes down to for a video game.
So for a video game, you don't need a lot of people for it usually. For your example of Fallout, especially, you don't need anyone else.
Yeah, it's just you.
And
that's why you're called the lone survivor.
Yeah, and you can just play, unless you're playing Fallout 76, I guess, but you can still do that alone.
Yeah, you can.
Because you're probably
or at least that
going
was the
to.
intent. I don't remember if it's even possible still.
I don't know. But for video games, more often than not, unless you're doing a specifically co-op game, you can play this on your own time. So you're able to finish them. So this is and it's also a completely different medium. So
yeah, not to mention it's also not, hey, I'm going to go ahead and play Fallout. Now I'm stuck here. Well, not stuck, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Now I'm not required to be here for the next 6 hours.
Right, yeah.
If I need to go, I can just pause it, save it, and be done.
Yeah, exactly. Right, like it is a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
You only need your.
That's true.
And it's I think it's much easier and less taxing to sit down for 5 hours and play a video game than to sit down for 5 hours and play D&D. I think that the social element of it, at least for me, I guess, maybe some people, if you're more extroverted, you're not like that. But to me, I feel like that's more draining.
I mean, there's definitely introvert, extrovert, but I think one of the things, I mean, you mentioned character getting bored with the power. I think the story, the GM can't keep up a good story.
Yeah, like if all your characters level 20, you also now have to come up with, like, you're basically just fighting the biggest dragons and the craziest bosses because everything else you're steamrolling over. Like now it's just the most insane mad wizards with like unlimited power.
Yeah, but do people think that at 10? And I guess to me that's not as much of an issue.
No, I'm thinking about really by like very late levels. But yeah, I guess you're right. You drop off way before probably that even happens. But at the end of the day, I mean, what do you think? Does it matter? Like, does it feel bad that people aren't getting to level 20?
It's just, does it matter? Should we make the video? I don't know.
Definitely.
Right?
It does.
Like, I think it's important to explore why this happens so that we can like, because I don't know what this is actually an interesting thing to go for. How should we try to like fix this? You know, like the drop off.
If it can be fixed.
Is it something that can be fixed in the current system? Is there something that we can do to make it so that 20th level is more interesting, actually retains these people? Because you get some neat shit when you get to level 20. Some of it's not so really good. Some of it's not great, but some of it's okay.
You know, I don't know. I actually have a question for some of the people, and you, actually.
Oh!
When I make a character, I often plan for the end game. Very, very often I plan for the end game. In my example of the in the Underdark campaign, where I was going to make that gloaming character, I've already said this previously, but his big thing was that he wanted to either find or create the Philosopher's Stone, which is a very, very powerful, like mechanically, you know, magical artifact that'll let you it basically, it's like Pocket Wish.
Yeah. Oh, effectively. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that was not going to happen for a very, very long time. And so I often plan for the end game. When you guys make characters, do you try to make and plan for the short term stuff, like, you know, first 4 or 5 levels, or do you actually also plan for the end game?
So
because planning for the end game at least implies that you're down to go that far, you know?
I usually have a goal, right? Like my character right now in my Wednesday game, Gimbal, his goal is, and he's added onto this goal with he's added onto what he wants to do because of the people that he's with now. But his original goal for a while was to survive, and try to find out how he can potentially rid himself of magic, or at least control it, right? That was his thing, and that's a whole, like, that's open-ended to the point of I could have to do something for a god. I'd have to, I'd have to find the most powerful magic users of all time to try to take my magic away somehow. I'd maybe have to make a pact with something. I don't know.
You could just make a ring of null magic. Or like anti-magic cone or whatever.
Right, exactly. Like, well, that's the thing, right? Like, it's one of those things of...
It could be anything.
It could be so many things of what... But the thing about it is, a ring of null magic you have to wear all the time, right? Like, you don't...
Oh no, a ring.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
I know,
it fit with my fucking style, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
But no, it's one of those things where it's just like, whatever reason... that, like, whatever quest I need to go on, that can be so grand or so small. It depends on how the DM really wants me to go. And so I'm there for as long as I need to be, right? So having a long-term goal is something that I do try to have. I might not have it session 1. I might have it later, just because I like to figure out the character, you know, when I play. But that's more just like how I do it. Try to figure out that long-term goal so that I can stay with the party as much as possible.
And then what have the people said?
Well, let me see. So going from before you asked that, 2020 campaign in a nutshell. Okay, so forest fire. No, now a plague sweeps through. Actually, the next is a political battle in the... fuck me.
Shit. That's really good.
Heck, even multiplayer games have gotten more and more group forming, automation, as well as reducing group sizes, like no more 40-man raids in WoW, if I recall correctly.
It's true.
Yeah. Fix number 1, make max level 15 instead of 20. Fix number 2, play a different game that has less levels. Oh, come on. That's a cop-out, first off, in the second part. I would say, though, reducing max level might be something. I don't know. It depends. Plan for the mid-game and use the world and lore to create a late-game plan. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, fair.
So, I mean, hey, that you're planning for, like, level 10. That's, you know.
I definitely plan for the end game, especially since I use Path Builder. However, the lower levels are more fleshed out. Not so much an RP plan as a character build plan. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know this, but has Wizards of the Coast released any adventure that goes to level 20? Yeah.
Yes, I have.
I believe so. I don't remember what there are, but yes.
I know that Undermountain can.
Okay, there you go. There's one of them.
Absolutely.
I usually have a short-term goal, and then I put a question in their backstory, and that they or I don't know, so I have something to keep me interested in. Yeah, exactly. There's also that.
Okay.
Absolutely. I like having those kinds of open-ended things for the DM to play with is very fun if they want to use that, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
20, or like should something change, I guess, in D&D? Like if there's a 6E, there will be someday.
Oh boy.
Do they look at this data and say, well, if no one's getting to level 20, maybe 10's the cap now, or maybe it's faster to get to 20 or something? Or do you think it's just, well, that's just how it is, and for those players who, even if it's 2% of all players that get there, it's fine for them? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, one of the
big question
is that people might, even if they get to 10 or 11, they might still want to have all the fun toys. Mm-hmm. But then if someone who's used to and okay with playing to level 20 is going to be a little annoyed if they lose that extra 10 levels and feel like it's getting made more casual.
Sure, but I mean, they've had those problems for every edition.
Yes, I know, but it's the kind of thing you have to you think about before you.
But what do you think is the right move for the game? Do you think it's fine the way it is, or would you do something to account for that?
I think what I would do in Wizard's Shoes is maybe an Unearth Arcana for this first, but to actually design like. This is a scrunched version of the fighter, for example. So you can still see those level 20 spells around 11 or 12 maybe. And here's one to stretch it out more. Because maybe some campaigns just don't work going all the way to 20. Maybe
That's an interesting thought, to create the classes to have a faster level growth, right?
Yeah, like I would say one of the things that what they should do, if this ever becomes like an actual legitimate issue that needs to be addressed, I don't think it's a big enough issue to even need addressing on Wizards' part. But what I would do is have an optional rule.
Okay.
Like bring in those things that they mentioned, like, like make it faster to get to that level, or,
Yeah. Yeah, what they suggested, yes.
Yes, and just make it an optional rule. That way you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. I think.
And you're not driving away the people who want the easier experience, but you're also not alienating the people who want the deeper experience of getting to 20.
Yeah, absolutely. I think. Yeah, I agree with you that I don't think this is a big enough issue that needs to be super addressed, right? But I do think an interesting way to do it would be because like they mentioned experience and milestone being things, right? And with experience, if we make it so the experience cap for each level is lower, then that works pretty well to kind of make it go faster. Because then you've got everything giving the same amount of experience, or maybe just a little less. I don't know. It depends. That would have to be play tested, but then you get to 20 faster, and then it's easier to kind of end that game at that level, right? With milestone though, milestone is literally just up to your DM, right? With that kind of play, you might not get to level 10 just because the specific milestones that you need to get to are few and far between, or maybe they're really fast. Who knows, right? Like
maybe you just have a group of sessions where you're like, oh shit, you wound up fighting a dragon, and then you fucking went and took care of these aboleths. Well, that's another milestone,
Right, yeah, exactly. So like it depends really on how your DM has set this up for that, because they know your milestones at that point, right? Like they know when you're going to get to the point of like, I now need to be level 5 to fight this thing, because otherwise it'll be a little imbalanced. Or maybe we're so powerful at this point I don't need to level them up, right?
Yeah.
Like it all depends for that for milestone itself. So that being said, my late game plan is to find the deck of many things and induce chaos.
Nice.
Kraken. You want to destroy the world?
Well, I mean, none of the cards are that.
No,
they don't fuck up other people. So.
I know. Paizo is good about 1 to 20 adventure paths. Okay, cool. I've never made a character with the idea of any high-level play being reached. I like organic growth of my characters, so I really just focus on how the game will start and go from there. That's fair, yeah. Sometimes 3.5 tempted me to plan for the first 6 levels because of prestige classes. Yeah, so there's a difference, I think, with the mechanical planning and the like actual character like growth, right?
Yeah.
Because one is more RP and the other one is but you can mix the two, absolutely. There's no reason why you couldn't. Like getting to a certain level, you have to, let's say you're an assassin, right? Or you want to become an assassin. You have to get to level 10, I think, for 3.5 or whatever. I don't remember entirely, but I know you have to kill somebody.
Class. Because it was a prestige class.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know you had to kill somebody in cold blood. Pretty sure that was the thing.
Damn, that's cool.
Yep. There was some interesting requirements that 3.5 had for their stuff.
And I mean, that was actually the Philosopher's Stone thing. That wasn't actually just a mechanical thing. I didn't want to just have that powerful spellcasting tool. There was an actual reason for it in the character backstory as well, because the way it worked in Gloaming Society is people go out on adventures and bring back cool shit, and depending on how cool the shit is, you gain positions of political power if you want them. And so my character was like, oh man, I want to like rule. I want to join like the political thing. I want to be a politician. I don't know why, but like I guarantee that if I can get the Philosopher's Stone, this legendary thing that people have searched for hundreds of thousands of years, I'll fucking get in there.
Yeah, exactly. The answer is obvious. D&D Dota.
Oh God.
Planning for the late game isn't too hard. Start by asking why your character would even leave their town and embark to take the most dangerous job in the world with no guarantee of money. Absolutely. Yeah. The full RPG experience in 1 hour of rage-filled game time. Oh, for D&D Dota? Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Where's the cleric? Off jungling for some reason. Noob rogue, farm butterfly faster. Damn it, now our rogue is underleveled. I always found
fucking fighter is feeding.
I always found it funny. Dota is an inverse of D&D. The spellcasters are stronger early game, while the melee marshals skill better late game. Sure.
Yeah,
I played
that is
Dota like
kind of interesting.
Once. Dota brain hurty.
Yeah. I never played Dota.
Solved.
I tried.
Yeah, it's
then everyone's happy by that. So that could be something to test out and see if there's a way to. That way, players can still get those really cool spells at the very end.
There is, of course, I mean, as players, you can do whatever you want. As DMs and players, you could say, for our campaign, look, maybe you just start a game at level 10.
Right. No, I mean, it's sort of like how there's all the homebrew stuff, but the issue is, or not an issue, but the thing that I think would help a lot of people, especially once you, as 5e has gotten a lot bigger audience, would be making sure that there's something like, look, Wizard tested this. This isn't some weird someone else came up with that turns out to be really overpowered or broken or something that you're not sure about. Like
even the stuff that Wizard has tested has been that way though, with the Unearthed Arcana stuff. But to be fair, that was still in play testing, I guess. But even so, I don't know.
Well, yeah, play testing doesn't really mean anything. Saying that they tested it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that Wizard Steel.
Right.
Seal. I can speak. On it. That really helps.
Yeah, and
but I will say though, I do agree that if they have these things, like you said, with putting in the optional rule there, like having the official Wizards put this in, like would help a lot for a lot of people to actually be able to like get use it and be okay with it. Wizards has tested this. Debatable. Yes.
It like the rule book is very different. Like that, you're much more likely to use that than any other kind of rule.
Like even the Unearthed Arcana, sometimes if you don't know much about it, you're like, wait, there's a thing to try out for whatever you're looking for.
I think for me, I would be pretty fine with them reworking the leveling system. I mean, they did a lot to streamline stuff in 5e, but I do feel part of me thinks level 20 is that just like a holdover that
is this a hint to our campaign?
No, just like that's like a tradition that it feels like we got to keep level 20 because it's always been there. But I don't know if that's actually the best thing for the game though. Like,
Is it more just a traditional thing, or is it really necessary? Okay, I like that point, because it does feel like since it's always been there. I think, man.
You think?
I think that honestly, considering that no one really goes to that level, it is more just a holdover, because it is tradition. Like, I am all for, and I've heard of course, people going to level 20, so I'm not saying everyone, obviously. But I remember I actually own from 3.5, there was the epic level handbook, where it was 21 to 25 and later, right? And before that, in the what is it? The demons and demigods, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I have that as well, and the gods had 40 levels in 2 different things, right? Like, they were like fucking huge.
Yeah, no, they're gods.
Yeah, they're gods, right? And so that was to show that they were at that power, right?
Yes.
And so it might be that because of how streamlined 5e is, that it's not needed to go that high anymore. And we can maybe bring these things down a bit to keep using them, but have them be at quote unquote lower levels, though we are still technically getting to that highest level, right? It's one of those things that I don't know. It's I don't know, man. It sounds easy to say, but hard to accomplish, because you'd have to
hard to implement.
Yeah, you'd have to change the entire system from the ground up.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a good reason why they haven't done it. They would have to change so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not to mention, it would start to make like bigger enemies kind of make a lot less sense.
Yeah.
So like when you start fighting high level devils and angels and like monstrosities and shit like that, eventually it's like, okay, like you're only level 10, so, there's a good chance that you're not going to be fighting like solars and shit.
So this is the thing, right? What if we have, like, you get up to level 10 and then they just say that the later levels are epic levels at that point, right?
Yeah, you could totally do that.
Right, and then that might give people more of the incentive of, maybe we get to those epic levels because now we're getting to epic stuff. Right?
Yeah, now we're getting to fucking like aboleths and liches, and because that shit is epic.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like,
it's not just like, oh man, that was epic. Not like that. No, the stuff that you're dealing with at those levels would be shit that can shape the fucking world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at least the continent.
Absolutely. And there used to be, in fact, in older editions, you could ascend to like godhood and get there was literally, I saw in something, like, spells for gods to create land masses and stuff, right? That was a whole thing. I don't know if that was third party or if that was regular stuff, but yeah, that was a
That
thing.
sounds third party, but that sounds awesome.
It might be, yeah. But I don't know. So, they also tested the Mythic class, allegedly. Mystic class would have been really cool to see published. That was the most original thing they showed. Mystic was, as far as I'm aware, it was way too OP, though, from what they did.
What I've always heard a lot of things about Mystic. What was Mystic?
It was like a something that was really good at a lot of different things.
But like, what was the actual like flavor of it? Do you know?
Oh god, it's been far too long since I've looked at it, dude. I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was something like psionic-ish, but I don't remember.
Oh,
maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember. It's been too long. Another thing to consider is that the power caps get very ridiculous by level 20. Another reason people often stop sooner is because the game breaks hard in double-digit level play. Yeah, that's true. And back, what did I miss? Oh, so much. Oh god, everything. Pathfinder 2 is designed to maintain that early level style of balanced play all the way up to 20, but a lot of people who play it complain they don't feel any lore powerful at max levels because of that. Oh, more powerful. Okay, yeah.
And that would be a definite downside. Like, what's the point of leveling up 20 levels if there's no difference?
Yeah, if that's how you feel about it, I guess. It depends, right?
Like if that is, if that's the effect that it has.
Right, and that's different for different people, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Got about headache is winning the fight. Thank you for the wonderful content and community. Catch you later. See you, Draco Kraken. Appreciate that.
See ya.
So
I killed you in the Warhammer video. No,
that's
okay,
true.
He's gone.
So maybe there's some virtue in considering lower level caps. Yeah, no, I think so. I really do.
Yeah, like I really like the idea of, like, again, I think that should be an optional rule, just so that way, again, Kay can eat it too.
Yeah.
I really, really dig the level 10 is the cap, and then everything after that, that's considered epic. Because to me, hearing epic level, that makes me want to get to that.
Yeah, that's my whole point with that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, 20 as an arbitrary top level is tradition, but it seems to work well, and it is a concept which gamers are easily able to grasp immediately between systems and editions. That's fair, yeah.
That's true. Or at least in terms of just D&D specifically, because there are games that don't even have levels.
Yeah, exactly. Something like epic levels does sound fun. Yeah. It had a ton of options, that's all. The Mystic class was their psionic class. Okay. Because it had options, it didn't fit the standard class design approach, and the many fans complained about that, so instead, we're getting psionic subclasses in the main classes. Well, I don't know, man. From what I heard, that it was, you could replace most things with it, which is good, I think, but it made it so that you would want to replace most things with Mystic, from what I heard, and not play any of the other classes. Though I don't know.
It's basically how you can make an entire party of clerics now.
Yeah, in a way.
Effectively.
In a way, but like,
except that's nowhere near as egregious.
Right, exactly. That's just what I heard. I looked at it once and I just didn't care.
Yeah. And I never looked at it to begin with.
Yeah, there you go. Talking about epic characters reminds me of the module which was literally supposed to result in the end of the world. Forgot the name right now, but the monsters you face are insane.
The Apocalypse Stone.
The Apocalypse Stone. Yeah, he says it later.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Didn't Spoonie talk about that? Wasn't that?
He did talk about that.
Yeah, that's why I know it.
Yeah, that's why I know it too.
Hell yeah.
It was a good video.
It was a good video. I mean, I'm playing a level 17 sorcerer in Pathfinder. Overall, a high blaster build, but that has proven to be good in the right situation, as expected. There you go.
Cool.
I think part of the problem is a system like 5e treats higher tiers of play as explicitly god levels of power, but people still see it as a baseline level cap. Yeah. I think, again, like, that's why I think calling it something else would help.
Would it at least, if it doesn't, okay, what am I trying to say here? For me, calling it something different makes it sound more appealing and more desirable to achieve, but it would also differentiate it from the first levels. And it could also, like, you could very easily say, we're going to play an epic level campaign. Shit.
Absolutely.
So that means we're dealing with like angels and demons and gods and stuff.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just make a character that's level 15,
Yeah, exactly. Spoonie One talked about that one. It's one of his funnier stories. Yeah. I also saw it on Spoonie's video. There you go. So players treat level 20 as something to be expected rather than a particular style of play. Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So that's why, it's also just, I feel like, getting to those higher levels, you can facilitate however you need to for your campaign, right? Because you give them however much experience from doing whatever they're doing. That isn't just combat, right? Because I don't know how many of these people, who have been polled, are using experience or milestone, or like how often they're getting their experience, or if they're getting experience outside of combat, all these kinds of factors, because there's a lot that you can do, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot to work with. So I don't know. When I hear epic level, I don't imagine high level, but a campaign that has real meaning and purpose with major events that can shake up the world. Sure. I feel like that could be any campaign though, personally. So I don't know. That's just to each their own.
Devils and dice.
Well, I honestly like.
I mean, you're getting there,
right? But I also think, like, in any campaign, you could potentially change.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right? Like, it just depends on, like, That's
it
why
depends on what happens.
That's why I like running open world like stuff, because I feel like having that potential just be ever present and always be something that you know that you can do is something that's really exciting. At least for me.
Things are dropping a lot of fucking burgers. These fucking nasty flying death worms are dropping burgers.
Maybe it's better if you do condense it.
Well, one of the things
there's always other options.
Might be an interesting path is take away the cap, but you still keep leveling, and every time you level beyond that, you get a 1% bonus. Well, if they just said here the spells. Yeah. This is how the fighter builds from level 10. Then from here, it's just attribute, then this attribute, then this.
Right, but does that help the people who just stop playing before they even get to that point?
Well, the idea would be there. You don't feel like it's not as much as like you're dropping off because you're like, I don't want to level 20. You still feel like you've hit that cap, so to speak, of like all the cool stuff. It's like, sure, if I play more, I'll just become crazier or some weird thing like that.
I feel like also if we change the cap down to like 10 or something, right? That will also make it so that when you reach that cap, there will be people that go, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and they'll feel fulfilled.
Yeah. And like, then they start a new game and go, so like, I don't know. It might also be like, you don't keep playing with that class even. Like, you might not even play with that character at that point, just because you're like, I'm done. I'm good. Right. So I don't know. It also, I feel like it also can lend to shorter campaigns as well. Because I don't, like I've said, I've gone through 2 arcs with the current party that I'm in, and I think I'm level maybe 5 or 6. I don't remember. I have my thing right here, actually. I am level. I didn't write it down.
Oh.
I have 8,435 experience points. I don't know what that is, and I will check.
That sounds like 5.
Yeah, it might be 5. I think I haven't hit 6 yet. That's my thing. Because this character was Gimbal came in way later, and he hasn't been there since the start. Let's see. I am at. There we go. Yeah, I'm level 5. Okay. You need 14,000 for level 6.
Now, is that total or
total? Yeah.
Oh, okay, total.
Yeah. Even so, it's still a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a lot.
Yeah. Everything is on the same, scale, but again, if you're using experience, and like I was out for a few sessions every now and again, so didn't get experience and all that. So it's one of those things where, again, I don't know.
Yeah, there's plenty of room for ways they can do it, and they've shown that they're willing to make big changes. But again, I don't think it's game breaking if people don't play past level 10.
Well, another interesting thing to do is because if you look at the data, it's like 0, which is rounding errors, obviously, for like 17, 18, 19, then 2% at 20. Because that's people who make just a level 20 character. Either you just start a campaign at 20 or you try out. So there could be a way, like that's just another thing, just start earlier. Like, you don't start at level 1. You already are a seasoned fighter or something.
I think a lot of campaigns do usually, maybe not super high, but it's not that uncommon to start at like level 5. Because those first few levels can be you're very weak.
I do also would love to hear people's opinions on this, because I think one of the things that helps a lot is the milestone method versus the XP method. Because 1, as a player, I don't need to keep track of all that.
Yep.
2, the story then will usually be geared to whatever you should be. There's no reason for you to be that going killing boars in the forest. Yeah, you're going to be like, great, they're at the point when I want them to know fireball or this, so I'm going to level them up then. And it then feels more rewarding to follow the story because you're going. The reward is the power. Yeah. It's not simply, and that could also be if you see some fatigue, you could be, I'm going to drop some quicker milestones or something to try to help with that.
Yeah, we've definitely found that works pretty well for our group. But of course, there are all different players, and some people really like the numbers. For a lot of people, that's what they want from D&D. They want to grind.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Overall, of course, I agree entirely because like I think I'm more partial to, and I think you're also more partial to the milestone. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's just easier to keep track of.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, creating an encounter and then being like, okay, how much is this worth? How much is this worth? How much is this worth? And then how were they able to take part in it fully?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can adjust off that. So I think this point milestone, because like, and I'll even say like I'm more of a fan of things that don't really necessarily need levels. Right?
Yeah, like just skill-based systems.
Skill-based systems, right? We've talked about this before. I like D&D, I like Pathfinder, I like these systems that have them, but I do very much think that
becoming more and more partial to the other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. As I keep, getting older and keep playing these things, I'm like, I'd rather just know what I'm
just have a skill set.
Yeah, have what I know I can do, and then play it,
because there also is a fair amount of extra realism to it, because when you go through life, you're not gaining more HP.
Right, exactly.
Well, okay, that's a little unfair. I suppose when you start out as an infant, you don't have as much HP as a fucking 30-year-old. But
that's true.
That's beside the point.
No, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you don't want levels, why are you playing D&D? No, I like levels.
We like levels.
That's the thing. I also like levels. I'm more partial to playing without them, but I do like the sense of progression, the unlocking of new skills and powers and stuff that are a level cap, because that's also something that I like doing. It's just
we play video games, don't worry.
Well, yeah, there's also that, but like I just, it is another way of progression, right?
Yes.
And I just find that I also very much like the idea of having these tools at my disposal that I can then add to my repertoire with leveling up in something that isn't so combat heavy either, right? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the level kind of systems seem to be very combat heavy.
Yeah, because a lot of the times when you have a system that's based around levels, it's necessarily also based heavily around gaining levels.
Yes.
And the majority of time, gaining those levels requires fighting, because it requires experience. And fighting gives the most experience.
Exactly. And even so, even if you do a campaign in that system where there is no fighting and you just do experience based on like social stuff or encounters like that, like that's also something you can do. And like, again, you still have the progression of, hey, I get to now use these spells now that I am this level, so then I can add to my social situations that tool that I have, right? It's still cool, and it's not like I don't want to have a bunch of things at my disposal over time, but I just prefer the ones that I don't have to worry about experience and stuff like that, because
because it's less gaining experience.
That's why
more just
Sorry, go on.
No. It's less. Okay, repeat what you said.
You said it was less gaining experience.
Oh, it's less gaining experience, more gaining actual knowledge.
Yeah.
Because there are some things, at least rules as written in D&D, where like certain characters can't do this. Like if you're a rogue, you can't do this. If you're a paladin, you can't do this. But in something like Call of Cthulhu, which is a skill-based system, if you want to have a skill and you'd have like no training in that skill whatsoever, you don't have to spend a skill point to get it. Once you're in the game, you can just go to the library, read a book.
Right, yeah.
Literally, you can just do that.
Or like something in like Cyberpunk, right? Where
you can buy like a fucking skill chip and just plug that shit into your brain and boom, you have it.
That or like the system that allows you to just use your general knowledge. Remember what I showed you? Of like, it's just however much schooling you had, you might have picked some stuff up in your life regardless of just, why. Or how you can do something. So like it's skill check.
Yeah, we always talk about how much we love realism, as much realism as we can get in our games, as long as it's like within reason. Obviously, we, in the setting, if you have a D&D setting where magic is not real, but
you can still make it realistic.
In the setting, it's real.
Yeah.
So it's still realistic to the setting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But we always like to have a lot of realism in our settings.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I think, and I still like D&D. It's just one of those things.
Oh no, I do too. It's great. It's my go-to fantasy game.
It's one of those things where I can like a lot of things, and I can prefer some things.
Yes. That doesn't mean we dislike the other.
If all you want is skills, check out GURPS. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Or merge the two. Check out Against the Dark Master. Sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but I'm remembering the Vigilante class in Pathfinder, which blends a combat persona and a social persona, both sides having different abilities and skills. Literal Batman class. That's true. I played a Vigilante in 3.5, actually, and they had the same kind of thing where you got your special knowledge local, or not, yeah, it was knowledge local, because that wasn't a thing before. Or maybe it was. I don't remember. But it had its own knowledge skill that you could use, which was cool. And it had a bunch of different things that you could do with it. I didn't get to use too much of them because we were in space. So anyway. Yeah, you know, it was one of those things. Anyway, yeah, it was still fun. Yeah. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines had a nice system where you didn't have levels, but instead directly spent experience on increasing abilities. I think some other games work that way. Yes, that is also true. Stuff like Shadowrun had character points that you put into your stats, right? Where it would make you better at certain certain skills or certain like your guns and stuff. Like there's also, yeah, apparently that's how it works in the Vampire RPG as well. So like, yeah, that kind of thing is also really cool, where you just like have pips basically and you put them in, and it's not a level, it's just as you gain your experience you get another pip to put in, right? Yes. And it just improves you, which is cool.
Kind of like 7 Days to Die.
Yes. It's like any of those kinds of games. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Depends on the group for all these things, but yeah, I'd really be interested to hear what people think about this in their own campaigns. Like, has anyone watching this ever gotten to level 20? Like, truly, I bet the number is kind of small, unless maybe you've been playing D&D, you know, for years and years and years. But probably if you go just look at 5th edition, I mean, I think the D&D Beyond stats are pretty accurate.
If you haven't, why is it? Is it because of fatigue from either the players or the DM? Is it, as I said, just life happens and you just can't, that group can't meet up anymore? I mean, I'd be curious, or you just don't think it's worth getting that high, that the reward isn't worth the gain.
Yeah, who knows? And what would you suggest? Should they change it? Should they do anything about it? If you want to hear some of our personal role-playing experiences, you can check out our podcast, which is at patreon.com/rollforcrit. We talk about that every once in a while in our weekly podcast.
Yeah, we talk about our fun sessions, what happened, all the weird things, and maybe every now and then Jonathan lets me peek behind the curtain.
Otherwise, stay tuned to our YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So that is Roll for Crit. Good video. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think honestly, like what they said with like most of the time for things that we've run, it's either been for me, for every time I run something gets in the way, or somebody has to, like, it's just something gets in the way, and I never finish.
It's just life, man.
Yeah,
life is a bitch.
I never finish anything with something that I start, unfortunately. It sucks.
That's why we're doing our damnedest to finish Devils and Dice.
Exactly. It's also
that's like we're getting there.
Yeah. And it also helps that it's like part of the channel, right? So like kind of.
So it kind of reinforces it.
Obligation.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like I finished a couple of campaigns and they didn't get that far because that wasn't like the campaign, right? Like
yeah.
It's just you get to a certain point and you're at the end of the story, and then it's like, all right.
It's like, okay, we're done.
Cool. Done. Neat.
Yeah. And like there's nothing wrong with ending early if it's like if that's the intent.
Yeah, and also it's important to like ask your players, do you want to keep using these characters or not? Right? Like
yes.
How are we feeling about them? Are we done with them? Are they done? Right? Like or do we want to start a new thing? And if like majority is like, let's start a new thing, and somebody else is like, I want to be my character, then it's like, oh man. But
reincarnation time.
Right. It's one of those things of like we can get up to that point again and maybe you can play them again or something. I don't know. Or like maybe we'll just start a new character, or like do another campaign at that level with other characters that come in with your character, or you know, there are many options that you can do at that point, obviously. Can relate. Yeah. Life sucks.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think that's everything.
Sure.
Cause yeah, I liked this video because it actually let us talk a little bit about maybe the restructuring of the system and stuff.
Why didn't I just drink a potion? Fuck. Just dropped 10 gold, man.
Oh,
I gotta go back there and get it. Anyway.
So yeah, that's gonna be it for today.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody who has watched and hung around and chatted and all of that. Thank you so much. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you again to our patrons, Draco Kusaji, Slazer, Steely, Drake Cross, Mog Zero, Frozen Spaghetti, and Kill Chrono. Very much appreciate your patronage and your continued support in that regard. Remember, if you want to support us that way, only do it if you have the means to and want to.
Yes.
It is on Patreon. You have to search TableTalk together, all together, not 2 words, not Table Talk. It's TableTalk. And
get it right.
Yeah. There's also links in the description, of course. And you can find the podcast on Fridays, re-uploaded as a VOD at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're on the Patreon, you get it early. Way!
Oh.
Nice. And usually we stream on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then it is available again for audio listeners, audio only for podcast listeners on Mondays around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the merch, check out the links in the description, follow us, get on our Discord. It's been fun. I see there's another notification. Is there another meme? Hold on. No, there isn't. Okay, cool. Okay. Just in case. Anyway, so yeah, and thank you for all the memes and everything. This has been really fun.
Yes.
Very good every time. So we'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.